Both sides out on the ground at the Gabba. Elimination final day. The Saints and the Western Bulldogs. And we're looking forward to getting stuck into it. Nathan Brown, a 6-time finalist, 18 finals for Daisy Thomas, including the Collingwood Premiership in 2010, 14 for the great Joey Montagna as well, including 3 grand final appearances for him. Don't forget the Monopoly game at Macca's is making winners. Download the app now and get a free chest opening the next day for your chance to win amazing prizes. It's been superb to have this man on the pre-match, and that's Jay-Z Clark. Jay-Z, just before we let you go, the Bombers, Danaher, Saad.
Yeah, nervous times for Essendon fans. They're still waiting for an answer. Joe Danaher went camping. His partner, I think James Stewart, to clear his mind, get some fresh air. So clearly he's got a few clubs keen on him, hasn't made a decision. And same goes with Adam Saad. 5-year offer from Essendon and Carlton. They're keen on him to deliver some line-breaking run out of the back half. They want Zach Williams for a wing spot as well, and that makes that Essendon engine room. Adds a lot more speed, doesn't it, to that Carlton side for a finals tilt next year. So nervous times for Essendon, still waiting on decisions from Adam Saad and Joe Danaher. Baz.
Who's your winner today, Jay-Z?
I think the Bulldogs. I think they've got the midfield quality like Brownie said. You admire what the Saints have done this year, but I think they'll learn the lessons from last year, and they got ambushed by the Giants at Bulldogs, and I think they'll be too good, the engine room. Good
on you, mate. Have a great afternoon. Jay-Z Clark, he's a star. And let's go now to the boundary line for the first time this afternoon for Bob Jane T-Marts. Of course, Bob Jane T-Marts, buy 3, get 1 free on selected performance tyres from Bridgestone and Yokohama. bobjane.com.au. We've got a superstar on the boundary line, one of the greatest people I've ever met in my life. Belinda Mallon, a good afternoon to you.
Oh, Baz, what a sensational place it is to be here, boundary side right now. 27 degrees. There is a slight breeze about, only 45% humidity. Half the ground is bathed in sunshine. It'll stay that way until about quarter time when the sun dips down behind the Gabba, and then it'll be a beautiful, balmy evening. Hopefully that breeze will keep the dew away too. The Gabba Green Top is looking absolutely sensational. They are calling it the Gabba Grand Prix, and Brett Ratton talked about controlling that tempo. Of course, they will try to be off to their blistering fast start that they have become renowned for this season, and given the hot conditions, it could come down to the last man standing here, boys.
Fantastic, Belinda. What a beautiful day for football at the Gabba, Joey, and days. A big afternoon coming up between these traditional Melbourne clubs. The Saints' first final appearance in 9 years. Give us your thoughts for the afternoon ahead.
Oh, look, it's going to be a cracking contest. I think, as always, with finals in particular, it's going to be a huge midfield battle. We know about the Western Bulldogs midfield. For mine, they are clearly the informed midfield of the competition. When you think about, obviously, McRae and Bontempelli, you know about Lockie Hunter, Josh Dunkley, but for me, Tom Liberatore, his second half of the season has been as good as any Western Bulldogs player. He's that inside grunt. They've just got so much balance on the inside and outside. It's going to be a tough ask for St Kilda, who probably are a little bit thin in there. Jack Steele, we know, has been enormous, but they've got Jones and Hanbury back in the side, all playing together. Saints' pressure is going to have to be at its elite best. You look at Port Adelaide and Brisbane the previous couple of nights. They won the game because their pressure was enormous around the ball. St Kilda has to be the same to try and stop this Western Bulldogs handball game.
I just think for St Kilda, if there are any chance today, it could be the time we see a star rise. Max King, I've seen a lot of him this year. He gets a lot of hands to balls, just hasn't quite clunked them. He's threatening, and I reckon on a stage like this today, he could be the one and potentially be the difference in the game. They're going to need him to have a huge game, and Bradley Hill as well. He's that outside one. He's the X factor. He can do really good things when he uses the ball, but I still think the Bulldogs just slightly.
Daisy Thomas and the great Joey Montagna, who will be looking after us with the expert commentary. We're about to go to ground level for Welcome to Country. And then following that, of course, the national anthem to kick off the elimination final this afternoon. As Belinda Mallon said, beautiful conditions at the Gabba, 27 degrees. And what a ripping afternoon we're looking forward to. These two traditional Melbourne clubs, the Saints and the Bulldogs, both desperate for the victory.
Football League and Premier Partner Toyota welcome you to the elimination final between St Kilda and the Western Bulldogs. The AFL acknowledges the Yuggera language group, the traditional owners of the land we gather on today, and pay our respects to elders past, present and emerging. We acknowledge we play our great game on this land and respect the cultures of all First Peoples, their contribution to our nation and contribution to the game of Australian rules football. We now introduce traditional owner Shannon Ruska and the Turrbal Yuggera Aboriginal dancers for the Welcome to Country.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Shannon Rusker, and we're the Yagara Tourable Dancers of Brisbane City. We'd like to welcome you here to our country, to the place which we call Wollongabba, which means the whirling water holes, but also fighting talk. It's where the teams will come to battle the final series in a historical moment of the first time ever in AFL history. We welcome you to our land. We welcome you to the Gabba.
Would you now please join the coaches, players and umpires as we stand for the Australian National Anthem.
It's been an incredible year of football, and players from both of these clubs have been magnificent, along with every club in the competition, to bring us football deep into the first week of the finals now. Elimination final time, Saints and the Bulldogs. Our final member to join us now, and well, there's been a big build-up to this, Ash. You've been waiting. You've had a lot of suitors in regards to sponsorship goes. You've kept them at bay. You picked Movember, a great to have Triple M Movember stats throughout the finals. Ash, a very good afternoon to you.
Yeah, great to have them on board, Baz. But two concerns for the Bulldogs. They've only won 1 out of 7 against the top 8 sides, and they've lost 6 out of their past 7 at the Gabba. But when you break down the contested ball, past 4 matches, they're second for contested ball differential at plus 16 per game. Now, since 2019, when the Bullies have won the contested ball by plus 10, they've won 12 out of 12. And Joey, you spoke about Tom Liberatore as the toss is about to take place as we speak, Baz.
Yeah, let's go down to Belinda Mallon. Belinda?
I'm still looking on. Marcus Bontempelli has won the toss and he is kicking towards the city end. That is the right of your speaker, Baz.
Yeah, and back as what Joey said about Tom Liberatore, last 3 rounds, number 1 rated player at the Bulldogs, 2nd rated player in the AFL behind Liam Ryan. He's averaging 25 disposals, 5 clearances and 7 tackles, so look out for him.
Yeah, the contested ball, both sides are really strong in the clearances and scoring from clearances. We've spoken about the contested ball. Just a couple of other things I think to look out for that we'll speak about in this game. I think Jaron Geary will go to Caleb Daniel. I think he's done it a number of times this year. Geary played as a defensive forward. I reckon the Saints will want to shut down Caleb Daniel's run and his creativeness off half-back. Watch for Seb Ross, I think, to go to Marcus Bontempelli at the stoppages in particular, try and nullify his influence. We know how good he is around the stoppages. And as Aaron Hamill said pre-game, I know St Kilda at the right times are going to look to play some tempo in this game. They don't want it to be too live and too crazy, because the Western Bulldogs, a bit like Richmond, Daisy, love chaos. They love the ball up and back. They want to play on at all times. They want to play contest to contest. St Kilda at the right times are going to take a bit of steam out of the game, find some uncontested marks, set their defence and get the game on their terms. So we'll watch for those early in the game, Daisy.
We'll see what happens if it is someone going to Caleb Daniel, because Luke Beveridge hasn't been afraid to then throw him forward or put him up onto a wing as well. But this is shaping to be an absolute cracker, and I can't wait for it to begin.
Aaron Norton's got the helmet on the head. Joey, to start now, we'll go with you first, Joey. I know The heart's a little bit in this one, but pick with the head. Who's going to win?
Yeah, obviously the heart says St Kilda, but the head just, to me, says the Western Bulldogs last 4 to 6 weeks. Their midfield are in too much good form. They're going to get the ball in their front half. It's going to be hard for St Kilda to get it out of their defensive half. I think the Bulldogs will win this by about 6 to 8 points.
Daisy?
Yeah, I think 2 goals for the Bulldogs. Kick away in the last closing minutes of this one.
I tell you what, we all agree. We had a meeting, and there's only one man that can kick us off in an elimination final. He's one of the best in the business, 2-time All-Australian himself. Nathan Brown will kick us off in the elimination final.
Exciting game this one looms for McDonald's Triple M Rocks Footy, the elimination final. Dogs and the Saints. Bounce in the middle's a ripper. English, what a big battle as he's the Ryder. Ryder got his first hands to it. Jones was good to Steele. Steele across the body inside forward 50. Big leap from King. Couldn't take it. Went back, got it, lost it. Caleb Daniel picked it up. Left foot out of trouble. Got it towards centre wing. Here's big Josh Bruce, but he gets pushed under the ball. Now Long got an opportunity. Handballs it off to Ross. Ross got some space and he goes 20 metres backwards defensively.
So the Saints in control of the footy. Short kick into the centre of the ground when waiting on the wing was Sinclair. Goes further on towards the boundary line, the bouncing ball. Membry's got it. Billings is with him. Membry now turns and delivers. A drop punt towards half forward, dropping back Easton Wood, who takes a defensive mark just outside defensive 50 for the Bulldogs.
Chips the ball inboard. McRae gets a stack of the footy. I think 12 of the last 13 games he's played, he's had 26 or more. Bontempelli at half back. Short ball, and it's a good one too, and it finds Rourke Smith. It's the young man finding his way in the game. Big game for him. Exciting young player. He's hemmed in on the boundary at the moment. St Kilda, a lot of players ahead of him, so he goes to the left foot. It's a high up and under ball. Only went about 40 metres. Bruce went in from the side. Carl had a bite of it. At ground level was Hunter Clark. He's dragged it back in the umpire circles, but nothing happening. Going to have a ball up 70 metres out from the Doggies' goal.
So Triple M Bosch Tools replay. Nice bit of work out of the centre from the Saints. Ball thrown up in the air. Tapped down by Ryder. On the bottom of it, Rourke Smith for the Bulldogs. Little hand pass, Bontempelli. Kicks inside to Wallace. Bruce at the back. There's advantage paid play on. He snaps and goals. He does. Bulldogs have the first goal on the board. Joshy Bruce kicks it. He's a happy young man. Bulldogs 1 straight goal. Saints yet to score. That's on the Triple M Choice Hotel scoreboard.
Did he show his former teammates what jumper he had on then after he kicked the goal?
Absolutely, he did. He just let the Saints supporters and the club know they wanted to move him on. They were happy to let him go. He just pulled the Bulldogs jumper and said, I'm now a Western Bulldog, and a perfect start for Josh Bruce and the Western Bulldogs. But it was Tom Liberatore again at that stoppage, Daisy. Flicked the handball out. Bontempelli gets it on the outside. They get a deep entry, and that's how Bruce was able to get on the end of it.
Yeah, and he's certainly the perfect start for him too. A bloke who's had a pretty average year, probably only the one really good game, kicking 5 or 6 goals. So a perfect start for him. Already you see the contrast in game style. St Kilda trying to get the speed into the game, whereas the Bulldogs, they were patient. They were happy to go down the line. They were happy to go to the contest. And when they got that around the contest, as you said, Joey, their mids just went to work. So that's alarm bells for St Kilda. But Paddy Ryder, as you said, Baz, on that Bosch Tools replay, that first ruck tap, just a big forward hit it outside the circle, got them going. Really good start from both teams.
He's covered a lot of ground. Josh Bruce in the early part of this game was up on the wing, now kicking goals back in the middle for McDonald's. McRae got hip and shoulder, got laid out by Long, who's been reported for that sort of thing before, but I reckon that one might have been fair. Liberatore's handball. Josh Bruce involved again. Liberatore again. Just inched the ball forward on his left foot. Goes through everybody. Rourke Smith got some space. Needs to pick it up. Needs to get the handball to the outside. Bailey Smith fend off. Goes backwards 30 metres. Williams high ball, top of the square. English ducks back. English gets there. Hunter at ground level. Traps the ball. Coming through is Loney. And Loney should get a free kick for too high.
So the signs early, boys. They're hitting the footy hard again. We've seen 2 ripping qualifying finals and both sides banging into each other early. Short kick from Loney was very wide to Wilkie, just about out of bounds on the full. Only went about 15 metres too, so still deep in the back pocket, the Saints. Wilkie marks, drives a long left foot drop punt out towards the outer side wing. Massive pack, and King stood strong in the middle of it, Dace, and took a beautiful mark.
I told you it was going to happen, Baz. He gets some great looks and a really good start for him.
The kick towards Geary. Butler had a wonderful year. Got the ball out. They go inside forward 50 to Saints. Around the body kick, and not good. And getting back and seeing all the problems unfold in front of him was Bailey Williams. Took a saving mark in front of Membry and a little short ball, and he finds Cordy.
So Cordy Birch yet fullback for the Bulldogs. Bulldogs one straight goal. Saints yet to score. We're a few minutes into the elimination final at the Gabba. The Bulldogs got a bit of run. Kick across the wing broadcast side out in front of Easton Wood. Carlisle's with him. Wood got an unkind bow. Still punches it forward for the Dogs. Goes back onto the pill and picks it up. Got rid of Carlisle. Hand pass off to Hunter. Hunter hand pass off to Smith. He goes from 40. He's hit the post. Just a bit of pressure on the kick. 1-1-7 the Doggies. The Saints yet to score on the Triple M at Choice Hotel scoreboard.
I know Brownie said that Ben Long for that hit on McRae wasn't going to be in strife, but on Triple M Bosch Tools replay, he got him high, got him in the chin. That'll get looked at if the Saints win this game.
It certainly will, Joey. Good pick-up. So the Triple M Bosch Tools replay. Bosch Power Tools and Accessories. Good. Better Bosch. The Saints get the ball in the back pocket. The low, lazy sort of ball lands straight in the hands of Lockie Hunter. Still 2 kicks from home. He looks up. There's not a lot of movement at the moment. Bruce already has one. Norton's down there. He goes to the short one. Finds Caleb Daniel. Still 80 metres from home. It's a 15-metre sideways ball. Now Daniel. What a kick that is. A low darting ball finds Johannesson. Now only 60 from home. Loads up to the pocket. Really close to the boundary line. Gave his forwards no opportunity, and an easy one for Carlisle to get over the boundary line of a boundary throw in.
So hugged up right up against the point posts for the Bulldogs. Doing most of the attacking early in the game. Boundary throw in. Gabba looks absolutely beautiful. Marshall down the ground, level to Billings in the back pocket. Couldn't trap it. Liberatore was good. Hand pass Bontempelli, hand pass Smith. He's got the fat side of the footy here though, and he's missed everything. He pumped it from 30. And it went out of bounds on the full. No score to the Doggies.
They'd be concerned about how much time and space the Doggies had with that footy then, Joey.
Yeah, when they get that first ball in the little circle and they can feed that handball out to the bigger circle, they look dangerous.
Howard gets the ball long. The Saints on the run. Bradley Hill taking more bounces than any other player this year. Gets it to Kent. Kent's got some space. He almost got run down. Left foot ball inside, forward 50. One-on-one, Geary. Had Caleb Daniel done cold. The handball came off the memory. He runs into an open goal and kicks the Saints first. Well done to Jaron Geary. And the Saints level it up 7-6. They trail by a point on the Triple M Choice Hotel scoreboard.
Yeah, Geary's definitely got the defensive tagging matchup on Caleb Daniel. Had him isolated top of the goal square there, which is a good matchup. Took the mark, but what I liked about St Kilda, Daisy, is that's twice now they've won the contest out on the wing. When they're going to be forced to kick the ball long down the line, that's where we talk about the Western Bulldogs being so good. They normally outnumber and win that ball back. First it was Max King taking contested mark. That time it was Brad Hill with an awesome crumb. If they can win that ball in the middle of the ground, St Kilda, this is when they're dangerous. They can move it quick, they get that paddock play, and they kick so many goals from the goal square because of that. So that's going to be where the game's won or lost. Great start by the Saints.
And we see on the Bosch Tools replay, they just have really good shape and representation of that long ball down the line. It's not all bees to the honeypot front and centre, which the Western Bulldogs players are at. They had good balance, one player running boundary, one in the right spot front and centre, and then Hill it was on the outside. Really, really good start from them. And this is just an absolute cracker early ball.
Joey, I can't remember the player early on in the year, but Jaron Geary played defensive forward on someone and kicked 2 goals earlier on in the season.
Sam Doherty for Carlton.
Yeah.
So the ball will be recalled from the bounce when outside the circle.
Yeah, and he played that role on Michael Walters as well against Fremantle. So he's done it a few times, Geary, and they've got him on the roll with Caleb Daniel.
Triple M Super special comments this afternoon. The great Joey Montagna with a great Daisy Thomas for McDonald's. Triple M rocks, footy tapped good from Ryder. Down to Hanbury. Hanbury for the Saints. Real high ball to half forward. Out in front was King. Couldn't complete the mark. McRae met him. Bumped him off it. Hand pass to English. Dogs have got it on the wing. Hand pass to Caleb Daniel. Going to be run down by Butler in the ears. So he got it in the back.
Caleb Daniel, straight to him now, Dan.
Well, Butler got him, but then fell into his back just forward of the wing. Caleb Daniel has the footy.
Should have been holding the ball. Lucky Daniel on the Toyota logo. Slow ball here. Every player ahead of him. He went to go backwards. Elected not to do that. Now goes a low grounding ball, and not a good one either. The Saints have got it back. Billings took the good mark. Jones stepped inside. Hunter, handball. The Saints run and carry. They'll go inside forward. 50 by Sinclair. They've got players everywhere. The bounce wasn't great. Caleb Daniel got back. He's under pressure at the moment. Coming through. They get the ball out the back again to Loney, who's kicked the goal in every one of his last 6 games.
Well, that's the right time to go quick for St Kilda. Jack Billings took the intercept mark at half back. Wasted no time. Gave the handball to Zach Jones, and that's when again they're at their best. St Kilda, they get high, their small forwards get up the ground and they turn around and beat you back. Butler and Loney both involved in that passage.
Career set shots 32-29 for this man. As I said, kicked the goal in his last 6 games, 11 for the season. He ran forward, he found the space, and from 30 metres out, left foot, squeezes it just across the other side. And through for one behind, scores a level 1-1-7 apiece. Triple M Choice Hotel scoreboard.
One thing just to keep an eye on, the end that the Saints are kicking to right into the sun. So we saw it early in the year, Carlton v Port Adelaide. The Carlton forwards had a really tough time in the first quarter before the sun got below the stadium.
Ticking up to the 10-minute mark now of the first term at the Gabba. From fullback, Caleb Daniel plays on, goes short to Gardner. And he marks for the Bulldogs on the boundary line. It's about 25 from the goal. He's defending, drives a long ball to the wing. English in the van, big pack underneath this. Wilkie there for the Saints, punched it out. Hand pass comes out to Hanbury. Hanbury left foot ball under pressure, goes inside forward 50, and Kent was caught from behind. And Jure did well in the one-on-one marking contest and took it for the Doggies.
Really good mark, got it to Cordy. Hunter found some space, he had it bounce. It was almost a two-handed bounce in the end. Now a left foot ball from half back towards half forward, looking for English, but sensing the danger and getting back was Wilkie. Solid play for the Saints this year, Callum Wilkie.
He's had an underrated year. Him and Ben Patton, two names that not many fans would know, but they've been excellent for the Saints back there.
So Wilkie called to play on. Short little left foot ball. It was dangerous, it was awful, and they've given it up. The Dogs on the run. Bailey Smith, right foot ball inside forward 50. His kick wasn't great. Under pressure, they're trying to claim the mark. That clearly bounced.
Yep.
And the umpire comes in and gives them the benefit of the doubt and let the ball up 30 metres out for the Dogs' goal.
Caulfield gets up and hands the footy to the umpire. Triple M Bosch Tools replay. Clearly bounced, as Brownie said. Bosch Power Tools and Accessories. Good better Bosch. Ball thrown in the air. Long's got it. Dunkley tackles him, drags him to the ground. And the umpire will do it again. Bob Jane Teamarts, Belinda.
You called it, Daisy. The Saints forwards are up against it in this term with the sun in their eyes. We've seen both King and Geary misjudge the flight of the ball, and they are the only team that will face the sun in their eyes. But it'll be down by quarter time.
Ryder on the tap. He got it out to Carlo in the back pocket. Had to screw one around his body. He's hoping for the boundary line, and he gets it as Bontempelli runs over the boundary line. Here's Ash Chua.
Triple M Movember stats. Time in the forward half. Bulldogs at 60%. Saints only at 40. Jack Steele only one possession, averaging 22 this year.
In Australia, men account for 3 out of every 4 suicides. Grow a motor, save a bro. Go to Movember.com.
Ball thrown in.
I reckon they're being careful with Jackson.
Big pack around it. Smith's got it for the Bulldogs. Punts it out to McRae. Punts it back to Smith for the Doggies. He's just forward of the wing out of side. Off balance with a kick. Goes wide. English won't get a hand on it down the ground level.
Throw it in.
And snapped out of bounds from the St Kilda defence. A boundary throw in 45 around from the Dogs' goal.
I wouldn't worry too much about Jack Steele having one touch. We saw Lockie Neal last night not touch the ball in the first quarter. Finished with 19 for the game. Steele will work himself into it.
Boundary throw in on the 50 for the Dogs. Scores a level. Ryder got up high. Laid it down. Coming through was Liberatore. His handball out to Smith. A high ball. That's a 60-metre ball. That's a massive kick, but it goes wide. And it's out of bounds on the full. Got some good leverage on that one, but the Saints will get the free kick.
Again, though, it was Tom Liberatore. That handball from inside to outside. He's had 3 clearances, 4 contested possessions already. He's the one that's getting those outside players the footy.
So Dougal Howard plays on, runs across the goal. He's defending for the Saints. Drills a nice 45-metre punt to Billings, who marks outside defensive 50. Long ball forward to the wing to Hanbury. Beautiful kick. Weighted it right out in front of him. They can go here. Hand pass to Steele. Long kick towards full forward. Up goes Membry. Hands on the footy down to Geary. Got a high bounce. Grabbed it. Tackled by Caleb Daniel. Slams the footy to the deck, and Caleb Daniel will get the free kick at fullback for the Dogs.
Come back on. He might have been lucky then, Caleb Daniel, who was nowhere near Geary at the drop of that ball. And it just sat up and allowed him time to tackle him. So Daniel in his defensive goal square. Dangerous kick. Carlisle comes in and marks it over the top of Liberatore. 55 out. He's a big kick, Carlisle. Hasn't played forward since his Bomber days. Does he have a crack at it? No, he just sets it up. He knows there's sun, so he puts it up as high as he can just to make it as hard as he possibly can. Caleb Daniel, handball. It's a sweeper. Lockie Hunter, another one. The Dogs run the footy. Bailey Smith, under pressure, goes back to Hunter. Hunter with a left foot long ball. Finds it out towards centre wing.
It's a real high one too. They wait. Back of the pack, Wilkie for St Kilda. Did well. Nice pick up. And now the drop punt back to forward 50. Up they go. No mark. Full of the ball again, Caleb Daniel. Clean with the footy. Little hand pass off to Hunter for the Bulldogs. From half-back, long high kick. Crozier puts a big fist on it. Down to ground level. Hunter Clark saw it go between his legs. Picked up by Bailey Smith for the Dogs. They can go again. Hand pass to Crozier. Another one to Richards. A scrubby kick to half forward. Dunkley drops back and marks. About 45 from home. Little short kick though. Goes to Norton. Had to sit underneath the foot. He got the helmet on. Who was punched away from him. Sinclair for the Saints has got it. Hand pass back to Hunter Clark at centre half back. Short kick to Geary. Defensive side of the wing. They're out of trouble.
Huge play by Sinclair there. Came off Johannison. Had to impact it. Not only did that, won the ball and got it back in the Saints' hands.
Dodged the bullet there, the Saints. Poor decision by Dunkley. Jones slows it down. Low ball. Sets his teammate a task, but they're up to it. And Patton smothered off the boot. Pressure's pretty good. Coming in was Hunter Clark. The blind turn was brilliant. He got the ball into the middle of the ground. He got runners in there. Caulfield took the mark. It's one of those players that sets him up off half-back so well. Carlisle had a fair amount of the ball in this first term. He goes wide, finds long. Big knock.
This is where the opportunity just to take a bit of tempo out of the game. It's been a pretty frenetic start. They can just work it half forward here.
So they go towards half forward, and elevating himself was Butler, but it's out of bounds on the full. Free kick will go to the Dogs.
Scores level, 1 goal, 1 apiece at the moment. Rourke Smith will take the free kick just outside his defensive 50 for the Bulldogs. So Smith, left foot drop punt, goes just forward of the wing again. A pack of about 6 will fly. Dunkley off hands did well. Punched out a hand pass to Josh Bruce. Fell to the ground, pushed it out, but Wilkie was in the way for St Kilda. Real close to the boundary line. Bradley Hill is taken over Ash.
Positives for the Saints. So the last 4 matches, Bulldogs winning the contested ball by +16. At the moment, the Saints are +1.
So boundary throw in. Centre wing, only 1 goal each. 1-1-7 apiece. The Truce Hotel scoreboard. Ryder laid it down beautifully. They got it towards half forward, but Bailey Williams has been really good in this first quarter, marking everything that comes his way. What are his numbers, Ash?
4 disposals, taking a couple of marks.
2 of those intercept, I believe.
Spot on.
So from half back to half forward. Ill-directed kick, only Saints players there, but they stuff it up and it got down to ground level. Dunkley goes inside forward 50. That's a better kick. And getting on the end of it, the Dogs are everywhere at the moment, and that is Johannison.
Thanks, Lockie.
Interesting to see him pushing forward a couple of times now, Johannison. I'm not sure if he started on the wing, Joe, if he's been off half-back. We'll have to keep an eye on that one, but he looks like he's really keen to push forward and test whoever his direct opponent is.
Yeah, late in the season, he's played more half-forward wing. They've moved him out of half-back with Crozier and Duray back in the side.
I prefer him on the run more than a set shot 12-14 this year, but he should kick this one, and he does. Dogs get their second. Well done, no, Dunkley. Johannison kicks his first. Triple M Choice Hotel scoreboard, 2-1-13 the Dogs, 1-1-7 the Saints.
Well, Bailey Smith's the one who started really, really well for the Western Bulldogs. Had a heap of the footy. Seems like he's just rushing it a little bit, obviously. A big game for him. First finals appearance. Ash, what's he going at by foot? Have you got that for me?
For Bailey Smith?
Yeah.
He's had 8 disposals. These 4 kicks are all ineffective.
Yeah, well, there you go. So he's sort of under a little bit of, putting himself under a little bit of pressure, that perceived pressure that finals brings. But again, Johannison, the ability to go forward, we saw it before. It was Sinclair who came off him to provide a really good contest, so that's a really good look for them.
Yeah, it's been a bit of a move in recent weeks, as we said before. He's gone and played more half-forward wing. They've got enough half-backs with Crozier, Duray, Caleb Daniel, Bailey Williams all back there, so it's been a good move by Luke Beveridge, and he's been able to hit the scoreboard.
Dogs up by 6 points on the Choice Hotels scoreboard. Book direct at choicehotels.com for hotels across Australia for the lowest prices guaranteed. Terms apply.
It's 4 ineffective disposals by foot, Ash, the same as the nice way to say 0%.
Here we go.
I was trying to be polite, Brownie.
There's Ash for the Triple M Movember stats for McDonald's. Triple M rocks footy, good bounce. English little tap down towards Liberatore. Ball bounced away from him. Coming in long off the square, tried to ping a couple through. Dunkley held his ground, pushed it towards half forward to Richards. He lost it though towards Sinclair for St Kilda, who grabbed it off hands. Hand pass to Ross, got a bit of space. Kicked it out to the outer side window, Bradley Hill. Run onto it on the bounce, can't get around Rourke Smith. He hung onto the footy though and kept the eyes low. And eventually it's found his target just outside forward 50. Long ball inside. It's high to full forward. King's underneath it. Can he mark? He can. 10 metres out directly in front. Contested style, Daisy, your man. He had three around him and he plucked the footy beautifully.
He certainly did. His ability just to keep his eye on the ball. Pretty poor defence from the Bulldogs player. Easton Wood there lost touch on him and no body work. But once those arms go up, he looks like he's either going to bring the football down or potentially the sun. They go forever.
Oh, Big Max will slam this home for the Saints. And scores a level again. 2-1-13 apiece with 2.5 minutes left to play in the first term on the Triple M Choice Hotel scoreboard. Book direct at choicehotels.com for hotels across Australia for the lowest prices guaranteed.
Yeah, it's his second contested mark already, and I know why Daisy knew that he would do this today, because the Western Bulldogs defenders play a zoning type of game. They don't actually play man-on-man and body you up. So we know Max King this year has struggled when there's been body work on him. They can nudge him under the football. Because the way the Western Bulldogs defenders all zone off and love to come and run across and spoil, he's going to get a good look at it running and jumping at the ball. This could be the day of the making of the young superstar.
That's as good as you get on the Triple M. Seabass super special comments.
Yeah.
Seabass is super fun. You can trust Daisy just knowing the stuff, and Joey just banging it home.
Oh, does he?
2-1-13 apiece. Triple M Choice Hotel scoreboard. Big King kicks his first to go with Membry. Bruce has got one up the other end, and Johannesson. Good game of football. Attacking open. Got 2.5 minutes to go before quarter time. He's looking into a hard sun there too, Daisy. It was a good take. So for McDonald's, Triple M. Here we go. Rocks footy. As you hear the umpire, here we go. He's pretty keen to get it going, and it's a beautiful bounce in the middle. English can't win that one. Ryder's won most of them so far. Hanbury at ground level. Coming in was Jones. Stepped out of the tackle of Bontempelli, quick chain of handballs. English tried to pick it up. Richards was there. Going back inside forward 50 with Dunkley. Was a wobbler. Free kick. Free kick's going to go to the Bulldogs. And it's going to go to Hayden Crozier over the shoulder.
And again, just Luke Beveridge spinning the magnets. Another one that usually plays half back. Hayden Crozier, he's having a stint at half forward this time. So we know he's not afraid to mix it up. Luke Beveridge doing it again. And so far, two usual half backs in Johannesson and Crozier are going to get good looks at shots at goal.
Yet to kick the footy at Crozier. Lipinski, Norton and Wallace, all forwards, yet to kick the footy. This is big for the Dogs. I feel like the Saints have probably been the better side. With 2 minutes to go before quarter time, Crozier, that is a beautiful left foot strike. You don't get much better than that. He just eased it through from 55, and the Dogs get their third. They're 3-1-19. The Saints are 2-1-13. Choice Hotel scoreboard.
Well, you'd think at the minute St Kilda have been the more traditional way or route to goal, getting it in long. The two of the three goals coming from Johannesson, who's a winger or a half-back, and then Crozier as well. But again, Luke Beveridge, as you said, Joey, not afraid. We've seen him weeks past. Caleb Daniel, if he has been sat on, he's been happy to sling him forward, move them around, and so far it's working because they have been getting good looks when they're going inside forward 50, although it hasn't been the traditional options to a big Bruce or a big key player. But it's certainly working for them thus far.
You can see they're certainly trying to lower their eyes and just hit those short kicks, aren't they, inside 50? Even the one they mucked up earlier that Brownie called when they went to Norton. You can see that the Bulldogs don't want to just kick it long and high. They want to try and find those lead-ups and those short kicks, and it's been working for them so far.
And conversely, St Kilda happy to get it in long and deep. Both their goals coming from inside 15 metres. They're the number one ranked team in the comp from kicking goals inside 15 metres. And Bulldogs, well, they are the fourth worst at conceding goals from inside 15 metres.
Triple M Movember stats. Just some low numbers for both teams. Bontempelli only 3 disposals. Billings with just the 2.
For McDonald's, Triple M rocks footy. 1:45 on the clock for the first term. St Kilda get it out of the centre from the bounce. It's Hanbury with a high kick just forward of the middle. Off hands goes Bradley Hill. Tackled by Bailey Smith. Punched it out towards Billings. Billings lost it to his teammate in Hanbury. Ran into the tackle of Bontempelli. The ball's on the deck. And Zach Jones dives on top of it. And the umpire calls for another ball up. 6 points up the Western Bulldogs. Bob Jane team arts, Belinda.
Pretty surprised neither side has fans or ice towels down here on the benches. It is really warm there out in the sun, and the players look like they're really suffering, looking very hot and bothered coming to the benches.
Haven't seen Marshall yet. Here's Butler trying to force his way through. He almost did. Saints got some numbers around this one. Now the Dogs come in with some numbers. Caleb Daniel, handball was clean. Liberatore still under pressure, under enormous pressure, the Dogs. Gardner goes with a high up and under ball. He clears the defensive 50. Marshall comes in. English fell over the top of him, and then the ball from Bruce goes out of bounds. We'll have a boundary throw in inside the last minute. The Dogs lead by 6.
This afternoon, Joe Montagna, Daisy Thomas, that's the voice of the great Nathan Brown, Ash Chua. Of course, Belinda Mellon for Bob Jane Team Arts. Don't forget at Bob Jane Team Arts, buy 3, get 1 free on selected performance tyres. from Bridgestone and Yokohama, bobjane.com.au. Boundary throw in on the wing. Zach Jones has it off hands. A scrubby kick as he was falling backwards to half forward. Defensive 50. Johannesson was good. Controlled the footy. Hand pass Easton Wood. Had nowhere to go and ran into the tackler. Williams comes out with it. Hand pass Bontempelli for the Dogs. Another one to Liberatore. He's right in the centre of the Gabba. Puts it out in front of Johannesson. Loney did real well. He's got three around him to beat for the Saints. Did okay. Hand pass to Carlisle. Got to control it here. Bruce is on top of him. Punched it out to Rourke Smith. Carlisle goes again in half back. Pushed it out sideways to Seb Ross. King comes in, claims it. Hand pass to Bradley Hill. He's on the wing and he's away.
And he's got some wheels and he has a bounce. Alex Keith shows some real toe to Cammy and get him down, but he got it out towards Membry. Membry inside forward 50. He was under pressure when he kicked it. And a big mark taken inside forward 50. And again, they do the right thing and Darren Geary just stands in front and takes the mark. Massive moment just before quarter time. Geary already has one goal to kick his second. You hear a lot of instructions going on at the moment from the umpires. Darren Geary has one to level the scores at quarter time. Exciting, fast-paced football. He has a deep breath. He shuts his eyes. He hopes for the best. He comes in 20 metres out. Geary, he's missed it from 20 metres out. That's a bad miss on what was a great quarter of footy. The Dogs lead 3-1-19. The Saints at 2-2-14. Choice Hotel scoreboard for McDonald's. The Monopoly game at Macca's is making winners. Download the app now and get a free chest opening for the next day. Your chance to win amazing prizes. For McDonald's, Triple M, rocks footy.
High intensity first term in the elimination final between the Dogs and the Saints at the Gabba. And it's a 5-point lead to the Western Bulldogs at quarter time. They're 3-1-19. St Kilda 2-2-14. A kick after the siren. Darren Geary for the Saints was one behind the boy from Bendigo. Goals to King and Membry for St Kilda. And for the Bulldogs, the single goal scorers Crozier, Bruce and Johannesson. Joe Montagna, Daisy Thomas, ripping first term.
Yeah, it certainly was. Sorry, Joey, but the speed in which the Saints got into the ball, that's when they looked their most dangerous, I think, watching on for it. We know that Western Bulldogs, and you pointed out so beautifully, they're going to play in front of their St Kilda forwards. They're going to take the proactive position. So when the Saints get the speed into it and wheel and go from that 70 to 80 metres out, they're getting some really good looks going forward.
Yeah, but to do that, they need to be winning the ball in the midfield. They had to match the Western Bulldogs, and they were able to do that in that first quarter. Ground balls were equal, clearances about the same. So both teams have had their looks and had opportunities. St Kilda have been really good trying to get it in deep. The Western Bulldogs, you can see, just when they get the front half, just being a little bit more patient, they want to find that uncontested mark and get themselves within scoring range, but we've got a great game on our hands.
We spoke to Aaron Hamill in the pre-game. He said the ruck dominance is what we need to keep an eye on. Currently leading the hit-outs. St Kilda are 10-2. However, the clearances are level, so they need to get a bit more bang for buck in that range.
And we spoke earlier about a lot of St Kilda players at their first finals experience. Well, it's been Zach Jones and Dan Hanbury, two guys that have played plenty of finals that are getting the ball and looking after it with some clearances for the Saints. And as Daisy said, Bailey Smith's also been excellent for the Dogs.
Well, and Brownie, you said we get a good indication of Aaron Norton in his first contest and how he's going about it. I'm not sure he's had his first contest yet. He hasn't been near it. He's had duck eggs in the possession stakes. Not so sure how that cheek is affecting him.
A lot of their forwards haven't really been near the footy. Mitch Wallace hasn't kicked it. Lipinski hasn't kicked it either, as that man you're speaking about. So they need to be able to get their forwards to have a bit of a crack. And Josh Bruce has kicked the goal, but he's only had the one kick as well. So between their four mainstay forwards, one kick between them.
Triple M Movember stats with Ashley Chewell, one of the greats. 1 in 6 Aussie men will be diagnosed with prostate cancer by 85. Grow a mo to save a bro. Go to Movember.com. Ash, what do they tell you about this lead for the Bulldogs? 5 points over the Saints at quarter time.
Yeah, Dunkley, number one ranked player at quarter time, 5 disposals and 3 tackles, but just some low numbers for each of the teams. McRae only 3 possessions and Jack Steele also with 3.
Bob Jane teammates, Belinda Mellon.
There was a pretty heated exchange between Bulldogs teammates Mitch Wallace and Tom Liberatore as Darren Geary took that set shot. Not sure what it was over, but they both certainly breathed a sigh of relief when the goal was missed. Tension's really running high out there, gentlemen.
For McDonald's, Triple M, rocks footy. Second quarter underway. The bounce of the footy. Ryder won the tap as he did in the first term, pushed it forward. Caleb Daniel came in. Ryder followed it up, kicked it off the ground. It bounced inside forward 50. Billings' handball was smothered off the hand, and Daniel tackle to the ground on top of 50 and he'll have a ball up.
Still going with that matchup, Geary and Daniel. It's been great. Geary's kicked 1 goal, 1. Caleb Daniel, though, was at 8 disposals, 5 intercept possessions.
Ball thrown up in the air. English, the ruckman, did the rucking, tapped it down at ground level, picked up his own footy and kicked it to the centre. And there's Norton with a contest. Marks on his chest. Hand pass off to the running Hunter for the Dogs. Goes short to Lipinski. He's just for the wing out of side. Kick inside the forward pocket. Has been slapped out of bounds. So about 35 around from the Dogs' goal. We'll have a boundary throw in.
Yeah, it was Callum Wilkie there. He's the only player in the top 50 in the AFL to not get outmarked directly from a one-on-one versus opponent all year. Amazing stat.
That is, I'll tell you what, that's as good a stat as you'll get, Ash, for Movember.
Number 1 ranked stat this year, no doubt, Brownie.
Boundary throw in, Bontempelli to Hunter. McRae hooks it back inside forward 50, top of the square. Saints got the numbers. Carlisle elevates himself and takes an easy mark in front of Norton. He had to deal with 2 defenders there, Norton. The kick from Carlisle, just a little bit wide, puts Caulfield under a little bit of pressure. His handball was knocked down. Dogs an opportunity. Smith, top of the square. It's a 2-on-2 this time, but coming in. Dougal Howard read it best and marked it on the second juggler.
So Dougal in the back pocket goes short to Wilkie across goal. Only a 15-metre pass and a low drilling pass onto the chest of Sinclair for St Kilda. Still inside defensive 50. And a short pass to the big man Marshall. Outside defensive 50. He's on the boundary line. On the outer side of the ground. Now it's a long ball. Just for the wing, and there he is again. The big man King marks. He goes and kicks and long to fall forward to Membry and a 2-on-1 against him. Oh, he had it in his hands. Jure at the back at fullback claims it for the Dogs. Little hand pass to the back pocket to Rourke Smith. A short kick outside defensive 50. And the Bulldogs out of trouble, but Membry with his hands on the footy.
Yeah, missed a golden opportunity. That was exactly the play. Take a mark 70 or 80 out, wheel and get it in deep because the Bulldogs are always front.
Caleb Daniel ball was good. DeLockie Hunter marked on his chest. He's got a runner. Caleb Daniel kept going. He's got to play a lateral out the other side. It's a really good kick. Wants to step inside. Gardner, that's a funny style. He got it to the feet of Josh Bruce. He's 6'6". You got to get it up. He's a big man. Dougal Howard, his handball's a bit wide. Hanbury has to be clean. So too Sinclair doing okay. The Saints are under enormous pressure. They're just trying to chip it around to get out of trouble. Eventually they drop the mark. Steele came in, was clean. He was the only one in that passage of play that was clean. And Bradley Hill, he's clean. He shows a clean pair of heels and they run.
A short drilling low pass towards Membry, who's on the wing now and he's on the boundary line. He's taken the mark. Saints out of strife. As Brownie said, under the pump they were. Did well. 5 points up the Western Bulldogs. 3 minutes into the second term at the Gabba. Beautiful conditions, 27 degrees.
Do we think that Ryan Gardner's slightly confused as to what foot he kicks with? That was a very poor execution of the drop punt. He almost missed his entire foot.
He confused me.
Short kick again to Membry, who's still on the wing. And he marks. He goes backwards with a kick to defensive 50. So the Saints just chipping it around, Joey.
Yeah, you need to have this tempo. You need to have a bit of light and shade in your game. You can't go fast all the time. At the right time, you just got to be able to just chip the ball around, circle a bit of tempo up and just play it on your terms.
Well, you've been talking. It's gone and done exactly the same. Kick back to Membry on the wing, kick back to half back. And Clark's got it for St Kilda. So now he kicks to true centre half back. A little bit of a dangerous ball. Sinclair didn't mark, pushed it to ground level, but now with a kick out wide, and Wilkie's got it, he'll kick forward to the wing for the Saints.
It's a poor kick though, turnover. Easton Wood marked it. That's what he does best, he intercepts everything. Short ball to centre half back, and he finds McRae. Numbers for McRae, Ash.
Zone of disposal, number 5.
Normally gets a lot more of that, but he'll keep running. He's a bit like Lockie Neal. He doesn't know how to not get the football. The Doggies chip the ball into the middle. Hunter's had a stack of it. Handballs to the outside. Jure stepped in backside. Right foot ball. Not his normal foot, getting over the back. A lot of Saints there. Caulfield got time, space, handball, puts a teammate under pressure, but that puts him under pressure as well. Patton has to kick it around the corner. Umpire calls play on. They haven't cleared the area. And eventually the Dogs fist it towards the boundary line. We'll have a boundary throw in right on 50 for the Dogs. They lead by 5 points. Early stage of second term. Bunting straight scoreboard.
So the ball will spin back into play. As Brownie said, right on that forward 50. It's tight and tough, and the Dogs have a 5-point lead. Boundary throw in. Marshall worked English off it, and he grabbed it and kicked it towards the wing. In front was the big man, Paddy Ryder. Went to knees. Hand passed off to Butler, who took a bounce through the centre. Wide hand pass to Hanbury. Low short ball is good inside to Memory. And he's marked 35 out. Make it 40. Directly in front of St Kilda's goal.
Well, that's the key. When you win that ground ball in the middle of the field like Jack Billings and Paddy Ryder and Dan Butler did there, that's when you can go and get the Western Bulldogs zoning defenders out the back. There were free Saints everywhere inside their forward 50.
Has to kick this goal now, Memory, because he turned his back on the play, had 3 blokes over the top that he could have thought his way through it and found someone in a lot better position.
Triple M Seabus Super Special comments. Seabus is super fun you can trust. Joey Montagna, Daisy Thomas. Set shots this year, 14 goals, 6 to Memory. He'll drop it onto his boot.
Dwight turned his back.
45 out directly in front. He fires and pushes it left and through from behind. Brownie. 2-3-15 are the Saints. 3-1-19 the Western Bulldogs, and we're 6 minutes into the second term.
Just a bad miss by Memory. So the Dogs through Williams, clear the ball towards centre wing. Outmarked is English by Rowan Marshall, who's been very quiet as Marshall.
Yeah, only 4 possessions, 3 marks.
So Marshall reloads with a long ball. It's a defensive kick inside forward 50 to the pocket, looking for King, but he can't mark it. Boundary throw in, not a boundary throw in. Saints in attack though, trail by 4 points.
He's going up. Max. Western Bulldogs.
Already taken 11 contested marks, the Saints. That's a big number in a quarter and a half of footy, Chew.
Yeah, they only averaged 9 for an entire game. Massive.
Ball thrown back into play. Whistle goes.
Kilda free kick. Advantage.
Saints free kick advantage, and Loney will do an open goal. Well, we'll go to the Bosch Tools for the replay, but the Saints have hit the front. The Saints have hit the front. 7 minutes second term. St Kilda get a 3-3-21, 3-1-19 the Western Bulldogs. Triple M Bunnings trade scoreboard. Bunnings trade made for the trade. Well, boys, what'd you see?
Well, I think we're going to see on the Triple M Bosch Tools replay, it was not the Western Bulldogs defender, I think it was Keith, didn't nominate for the ruck. So he's given away a ruck infringement for not being the nominated ruckman, the ridiculous rule a lot of people don't like. The free kick was paid to Max King, but the advantage was taken by little Jack Loney like a good small forward. As we just see here, the Bosch Tools replay. Bontempelli put his hand up, the umpire said yep, and then Keith came in at the last minute. The umpire didn't see him. Bontempelli thought he was in the ruck. Keith thought he was in the ruck. That was clearly there under the rules, and an easy goal for the Saints.
Really, really poor communication and setup. That's just a boundary throw-in in the forward pocket. They're all at sea. Maxi King, though, he's really threatening to take this game apart. He had a really good look at it in the forward pocket there. Good to see him putting his hand up and taking the ruck inside 52, which allows Ryder to set himself behind the ball.
Sit down to the boundary line. Bob Jane T-Marts, Belinda.
Ed Richards off for the blood rule. The doctor's just patching up his nose right now. Also, Dan Hanbury limped off earlier. Physio's working on both his hamstrings.
For McDonald's, Triple M, Rocks footy. The Saints lead by 2, and the Dogs will get a free kick in the middle of Libba. Held without the footy. Thought he dropped it. Very lucky in the end, Liberatore. So a lot of tattoos. He goes with a short little ball to Bontempelli. What are his numbers, Ash?
Bont, only 6 touches, Brownie.
The Movember stats. Gerard down towards half forward. It's a nice kick. Crozier couldn't mark it. He was going full tilt. Hard to mark them. Sinclair, he was tackled. He couldn't get it. Crozier came back and absolutely dumped him with a brilliant tackle. Crozier's already kicked one, and he'll try from 50 right near the boundary for his second.
Well, he made his name as a half forward at Fremantle Dockers, Crozier, but he was a bit of an inconsistent half forward. He'd come in and out of games. He made the move to the Western Bulldogs, where he turned himself into a very, very good intercept defender and a really good user. But here in a big final, Luke Beveridge has thrown him forward, and he's looking really lively.
He's already nailed one today. A beautiful 55-metre left foot punt. This one's harder. This will be from 50. Just inside the boundary. Crozier, left foot, brings it back. Not quite enough. Just squeezed it across the other side and through for one behind. And the Dogs, they trail by 1. 3-3-21 the Saints. The Dogs 3-2-20. Bunnings trade scoreboard.
So Dougal Howard at full back to bring it in for the Saints. Runs outside the square now. Plays on. Runs a good 15 and kicks a long one outside defensive 50 out of sight off Hanzo. Big English claims it for the Bulldogs. He'll kick them back inside. He's gone to Wallace. Dougal Howard with him, but he chopped the arms. And Wallace has got the free kick on the boundary line, about 35 out.
Touch his arm.
First kick for Wallace.
Triple M Bosch Tools replay. What do you reckon, Dave?
Sorry there, Baz. Mitch Wallace has pulled the ball over the umpire's eyes there. Mitch Wallace actually pulled down Dougal Howard's arm, and he's been rewarded with the free kick. He's tricked the umpire there.
The umpire was right on the spot too, almost in the contest, so really poor decision.
Bosch Power Tools and Accessories, good bit of Bosch. The result is a 40-metre drop punt from the boundary line to Wallace. What can he do from there? It's close, he's done it! Wow! It may not have been there, but he's kicked the goal. And the Dogs have reclaimed the lead. That was a beautiful kick. And the Bulldogs, 4-2, 26, 3-3, 21, are the Saints on the Triple M Bunnings trade scoreboard, and we're 10.5 into the second term.
That was a beautiful kick from the boundary. Most players from there would either go left foot snap or a right foot check side. He went with a drop punt. He's one of the best set shot kicks in the competition, but again, you've got to point it out. It was a really poor decision by the umpire, who was right there. Howard just came in for the spoil. Mitch Wallace grabbed his arm and pulled it down. And I was going to comment only a couple of minutes ago that it's been well umpired, this game. The previous couple of nights, they've been a bit trigger happy. They've blown the whistle too quickly in a final. This game's been umpired really well, but that was a mistake by the umpire that's costing Kilda a goal.
And it just goes to show how costly that missed goal from memory at the other end could come back to be, as well as the Geary goal just on the quarter-time bell.
Mitch Wallace gets his first from his first kick for McDonald's. Triple M rocks footy. The Dogs by 5. Bit of a push and shove behind the footy with Wilkie. Probably wasn't there, but he nailed the goal in the end. Josh Bruce is in the ruck for McDonald's. Triple M, we rock it. Coming out of the middle. McRae slammed on the right foot. Goes inside forward 50. Caulfield mark what he probably should have taken. Couple of moments here for the Saints. Ball underneath the pack. Does it come out? It eventually comes out. The umpire didn't call it. Johannesson's handball. Bontempelli, 45 out. Shins it forward. Carlisle dropped the mark. Then put Dougal under pressure. He touched the goalpost with the football. And he kicks the ball out of defensive 50.
Yeah, and behind the pack it goes. Zach Jones will swoop on it. Nice little pick up one hand. Caleb Daniel ran him down, but he had time to hand pass back to his teammate Kent, who's taken a bounce forward to the wing. Kent for the Saints, pushed on the kick by Hunter. Good pressure that went out on the full. So the Bulldogs will reclaim from half back.
No, the umpire changed his mind at the last second. Baz, he's paid the push in the back.
So it's going to come back to Kent on the wing.
It was a very late whistle.
Now he's called the play and he'll drive the Saints forward.
It's a big left foot booming ball inside forward 50. The fist comes from Geray. Loney was there, already kicked one. The ball arched out of the defensive end. Bontempelli has to sit underneath it. And he took a very good mark, Bontempelli at half back, and he just slows proceedings down. Now goes across the goal, he's defending. Got a couple of players on. One of those is Keith. He feeds by hand towards Gardner. Forgot what foot he kicked with according to Joey, but that's a beautiful kick. That was a right foot burner. And he got it towards Ed Richards on the bounce to Geray. Geray's kick isn't great as well. They're inching the ball forward, the Dogs. Smith comes into the middle of the ground. Got some players here. McRae's one of them. Left foot low ball. They're inching the ball forward, the Dogs. No long balls, just short little kicks. Bontempelli with another one to the pocket. The lead comes from Bruce. Coming in was Ryder. Did really well, Ryder. Hunter flips it over the back. Josh Bruce tackled by Ryder. Ball jars free. Saints got the numbers. They get the ball back to Howard and now to Caulfield.
Little short kick from Caulfield. The target is Sinclair. Picked it up on the bounce. Still inside defensive 50. Another short ball and the Saints are out of trouble. 5 points up the Bulldogs. 6.5 minutes left to play in the first half of the match. The kick to the wing. Geary gets in front of Caleb Daniel and marks on his chest. And the boy from Bendigo drops it towards half forward. But again, it's a one-on-one contest won by the Bulldogs. This time Keith, who took a nice defensive mark on the boundary line about 65 from the goal he's defending.
A very good pick up with the Dogs, Alex Keith. He goes with a short one to Williams. Chipping the ball around here, the Dogs, to Cordy at half back. Jones stands the mark and Cordy runs across the goal, is defending. Has a couple of players, one of those is Gardner, just ambles away with the right foot, kicks it straight back to the Saints, coming in late with the fist. Billings did really well, got it out towards Hanbury, made a space, the seas parted for him, inside forward 50, the kick was brilliant, and he finds the skunk memory. Sliding into it on the boundary, 40 out.
Well, you called that Ryan Gardner kick, Brownie, and it's actually been a bit of a ploy for teams We've got so many dangerous half-backs that are good users. Allow Zane Cordy, allow Gardner, allow the guys that aren't elite kicks to kick the ball out of their back half, because you will get opportunities. St Kilda stood off him then. They let him kick it and they got the turnover.
Triple M Seabus super special comments. Seabus is super fun you can trust. There's Membry. 14 goals, 7 so far for set shots. This is the tough one. Runs an arc, gives himself some room. This one's not going to be a score. Across the face, King! Big fly from King! Huge fly, big mitts, big moments, and this young man's doing it all.
What an absolutely huge clunk that was. Has to do the big thing now and finish it off.
Waste no time. 15 out, comes in, nails the goal for the Saints. Big moments for that young man. He's got his second and the Saints are back in front. 27 plays 26 on the Bunnings trade scoreboard.
Well, you can see the last couple of minutes, the Bulldogs happy to be really patient and try and build that ball up. They don't want to go long. They're starting to use the switch a bit more and trying to go around the St Kilda defence, which has been set up really, really well. Obviously, they're playing with speed, but when they do that, they're able to take territory and get it in and set the ground really, really well. And Max King, he is starting to look, as I said a couple of times, threatening to tear this one apart.
Well, if you just cast your mind back to 2007, there was a young forward playing his first ever final for Hawthorn, Baz, against the Adelaide Crows. He kicked 7. His name was Buddy Franklin. I'm not going there with Max King.
You already have.
But he's just showing little signs in this first half. He could announce himself in a big final like Buddy did all those years ago.
Oh, wow. Triple M Seabus super special comments. Seabus is super fun you can trust. Joe Montagna, Daisy Thomas, Belinda Mallon, Bob Jane teammates.
Cordy off in excruciating pain, a left ankle problem. Doctors and physios looking at him now. I'll keep you posted, boys.
All right, big injury news for the Bulldogs. Bob Jane teammates, buy 3, get 1 free on selected performance tyres from Bridgestone and Yokohama. BobJane.com.au. For McDonald's, Triple M, rocks footy. The bounce is good. Ryder tapped it down, then went and got his own pill. He kicks it forward to the centre. Gary squeezed out a hand past the Steele. Another one to Hanbury. His kick was low and it bounced before the big man King this time. Pushed to the back to Keith for the Dogs. High kick under pressure. English attacks the footy in the air. Couldn't complete the mark. Gary hand pass to Ross. Has a snap from 40. Does it come back enough? It doesn't. Saints out to a 2-point lead on the Triple M Bunnings trade scoreboard, and we're 17.5 into the second term.
The Dogs bring the ball back in through Williams. He got it towards Gardner. Another short ball. Under pressure here, the Dogs. Chipping the ball around a lot. They're a high handball side, Joey, but a lot of kicking at the moment. They're getting themselves under pressure as McRae runs away with the footy. Looks towards English. Smith, his handball was knocked down. Paddy Ryder's kick was smothered. Coming in was Lipinski. Don't think he's touched it yet. Hunter, standing to start the left foot. Got a high ball towards half forward. The Saints have got 2-on-1. Wilkie hasn't lost a 1-on-1 this year. Didn't win that one. Didn't lose that one either. He'll get a free kick. Triple M Seabus super special comments. Joey told us hasn't lost a 1-on-1 all year. Brilliant player. Seabus is super fun you can trust.
And he's got the job on Mitch Wallace too. That only goal was on Dougal Howard. He's kept Mitch Wallace kickless otherwise.
So it's Hanbury, a true centre-half back, goes to Steele, didn't mark. Back of the pack was Bailey Smith for the Dogs. Hand pass to Norton. Norton over the top towards Liberatore. Another one to McRae. Hand pass Lipinski's inside. Great tackle, Billings. Ripping tackle from Billings. Ball spilled back to Hanbury. Hand pass to Clark. A kick from Wilkie outside defensive 50. And the Saints are away with a kick out now to the outer side wing. Big Memory's got it.
Good footy. Memory turns around, moves the ball quickly towards half forward. Marshall got underneath the footy, was fisted away, did really well. He knew that Bradley Hill was out the back. He funneled it through his legs. Eventually Bradley Hill ran onto it. His handball missed the target, but then Seb Ross was there. Handball back inside. Loney sees the little pass he liked, and he hit up Paddy Ryder, who led out from the goal square, having a rest as the ruckman, and this is a big moment for the Saints.
Really good play to get off English it is. Take him forward, try and exploit him the other way. We know what a great athlete Tim English is and his ability to get behind the ball and read the play. Ryder trying to test him out.
Shaping up to snap around the body here.
He's one of the best snappers we've ever seen, especially from long distance.
Play on.
Spot on, Joey. Paddy Ryder, we're right behind it. Have a look at that. Seabus super special comments from Joe Montagna, if you don't mind.
Yes.
Massive goal from Paddy Ryder. and they're out to an 8-point lead on the Bunnings trade scoreboard. 34 plays 26. Ryder gets his first.
Well, before it became, big in footy, remember Baz, he was doing it for Essendon all those years ago.
Yep.
He would snap the ball 50 metres. He was as good as we've seen, the exponent of the snap. He was only about 40 metres out there, but he hit it flush. And I'm really liking both ruckmen are pushing forward. You've seen English do it as well. Bruce, when he was in the centre bounce, push forward, and both Marshall and Ryder are pushing forward. So great tactical battle between both sets of ruckmen.
Again, it's the speed in the ball that's catching the Bulldogs out. We see on the Bosch Tools replay, the defenders getting caught in between. They're not able to slow the play down at all, getting no pressure on the mark or being able to force a long kick. And in so doing that, the St Kilda players, they're just flocking on the ball, running in numbers. Good balance of that contest again, handball inside. And you said it, Joey, 45-metre snap. That was absolutely crisp. You could hear it come through the effects line.
Yeah, it was beautiful. Triple M Movember stats, Ash.
And so when the Saints have taken 80-plus marks in the game, they've won 6 out of 7 this year. They've already taken 45, so they're on target for 90-plus.
Saints' first final in 9 years. They lead by 8 points with 2 minutes to play in the first half. From the bounce for McDonald's, Triple M rocks footy. Pushed out to Rourke Smith for the Doggies. He'll kick them long inside forward 50. Carlisle got it down to ground level. Lipinski ran onto the footy. Hand pass to Bruce, lost it to Patton, and breaking the tackle was Hunter Clark when the ball spilled his way. Wallace chases him, he kicks across goal, it was dangerous. Richards was there, grabbed by Sinclair, tackled by Rourke Smith, it spills back to Clark, still at fullback, dragged out in a tackle. Caulfield's got it now for the Saints, out of trouble with a hand pass to Sinclair, away they go to the wing.
Enormous pressure from the Dogs, and the Saints just got through by millimetres, and now they're towards centre wing, towards half forward. The kick is really good to King. King 55 out, turns around, got Bradley Hill running. Bradley Hill will be the flyer, out the back, Hill, can't mark it. Ground level Loney, opportunity, handballs back towards Steele, stepped inside, right foot from 40, it goes wide, and it goes out of bounds on the full. Gee, it's exciting footy though, both sides up and about end to end. The Saints lead by 8 inside the last minute before half time.
So Williams in the back pocket for the Bulldogs. Minute left to play. Saints are on a bit of a charge. A long kick towards the wing. Eastonwood up, nearly, not quite, couldn't complete the mark. Carlisle's got it dragged off the kick. Rourke Smith claims it for the Dogs. Hand pass to Bailey Smith. Little hand pass to Bontempelli. Another one back to Johannesson. Gets around Sinclair. Still at half back to Dogs, but he wants the corridor. Seconds to play now in the second quarter. In the first half of the game, Crozier's got to kick it wide out to Gardner. The big man's got it on the wing for the Dogs. He's got space. Drills the path 40 into the arms of Richards. Low drop punt to Wallace inside. And he's plucked it off the turf, but he's 48 metres out. And he'll go back on a 45-degree angle.
This will test him here. He'll have to kick this every bit of 50 metres. I'm not sure if Mitch Wallace has the journey in him, Days. What do you reckon?
I'm going to back him in, Joey. He's had a really good year. Played that predominant forward role. Hit the scoreboard on numerous occasions. Big time play. We saw him slice that one through before like a scalpel. I'll back him in.
Career set shots at 75%. Mitch Wallace kicked one beautiful goal from the boundary line. This won't be his second because he's pushed it right and it's gone through for one behind. And siren goes to end the first half. Let's go to Belinda Mallon, Bob Jane Teamarts.
Zane Cordy is on crutches with a very heavily bandaged left ankle. He's in a lot of pain. It certainly looks pretty ominous for him, gentlemen.
No good for the Dogs. 5-4-34. St Kilda lead Western Bulldogs 4-3-27 by 7 points at halftime. Don't forget, the Monopoly game at Macca's is making winners. Download the app now and get a free test opening the next day for your chance to win amazing prizes. Joey Montagna, Daisy Thomas, Nathan Brown and Ashley Chua, Belinda Mallon have all done it. For McDonald's, Triple M rocks finals footy.
The Saints lead the Dogs by 7 points at half-time, 5-4-34. The Dogs are 4-3-27. Big Max King has 2 goals for the Saints and all singles to the Dogs. As IJ Liquor got you covered this final series. Get your favourite beer, wine and spirits. Head to ijliquor.com.au to find your nearest store, plus recipes, inspiration and promotions. IJ Liquor, proudly independent. Got Daisy Thomas and also Joe Montagna here with me. Let's cast an eye over this afternoon's game, Daisy, and the Pies have been conspicuously quiet. They haven't said boo. We've seen West Coast complain earlier on in the season, didn't do them any good. Seems like clubs who have complained this year about the circumstances we're in haven't played well. Collingwood, very, very quiet.
Yeah, uncharacteristically quiet, really, especially the only noise coming out of there really was Eddie at a nightclub. So it's been very, very low-key. They're in the tents at the minute. They've got the caravans, all sorts of things not going their way. But you're right. I reckon they think they're a big show to go over there and cause what we all think would be an absolute huge upset, because it's the toughest ask in football going over to West Australia at any stage. The Eagles, they're humming. They're 7-0 on their home deck. They get a cast of stars back in that lineup. It's going to be a very, very tough ask. But Collingwood, I still think they've got enough X factor in that team to really at least give West Coast a really good run for their money. I'm not sure if they can win it, but I think they'll give them a good run.
You're going to have to be amazing defensively around the footy to not allow ball to Kennedy and Darling and Liam Ryan. And at the other end, how do they kick their goals? Obviously, it comes down to Jordan De Goey, who is a star of the making, but you can't expect him to kick 4, 5, 6 every time you need to win a game of footy.
No, but he's going to probably have to, isn't he, to win the game? And I think they've just got too many answers down there defensively with Barras, McGovern, Shepherd, Hearn. I think one of them will lock down on De Goey and say, we're not going to let him beat us, and the others can do their thing and intercept Mark. I know that there is a little talk the Pies might be able to produce something. I can't see it. West Coast average an extra 20 points at home than they have away from home this year. They'll be able to play their style. They're not going to be worried about the dew and any of those things. They'll control the tempo. Nick Nat will give them first use in the midfield, and I just think they'll have too much firepower.
I think the only thing, or one of the only things Collingwood can hope for, is that the stars that come back in may be underdone and a few of them go down. If you can lose 1 or 2 players early through an injury, if they're not quite right and they've rushed them back because they don't have that second opportunity, you just never know.
I like it, Daisy. He's hoping they get a few injuries and then that gives the Pies
spoken like a true Pies man.
Bob Jane T-Marts, buy 3, get 1 for unselected performances tyres from Bluestone and Yokohama. BobJane.com.au. Belinda.
The Western Bulldogs will be down 1 rotation in this second half with Zane Cordy out with that left ankle injury. Medico's applied what looked like a foam splint to the ankle and bandaged it really heavily. So there's obviously a great deal of concern around the injury. Also, boys, for the Saints, Ben Long looks like he might be in a little bit of trouble with the MRO for his hit on Jack McRae. What do you think? Does he have a case to answer?
Oh, I think he will, Belinda. I think he's going to have to be careful if they do win this game. St Kilda, he got suspended earlier in the season for a similar hit. He turns his hip and his shoulder and he collected Jack McRae high. Luckily, McRae got up and continued to play. That might save him, but certainly it'll be looked at by the MRO.
Not too dissimilar to the Zach Butters hit on Jai Simpkin, really. The outcome slightly different, which will probably work in his favour. Butters got 2 weeks for that, so I think certainly looking down the barrel of at least 1.
I reckon the half-time siren came at the right time for the Dogs. The Saints were all over them, and just this little 20 minutes to just give them a chance to regenerate.
Yeah, the Bulldogs are going to come out breathing fire. They are going to try and get the contest back on their terms, but the first half, St Kilda got the game on their terms for the majority of it. They've played it the way they want to. They've been able to get uncontested marks when they've needed to. They're dominating in the air. They've taken 13 contested marks in a half, so their big boys are firing. They look lively at ground level. And the good thing for St Kilda, Jack Steele, who's carried them for a lot of the season, only the 6 disposals. So Saints have still got upside, but you just worry about the Western Bulldogs, this proud midfield. They got humiliated last year in a final. You know they're going to come out in this third quarter and they're going to crack in around the ball, led by Libba.
5-4-34 the Saints, 4-3-27 the Dogs. As we get set to start the second half at the Gabba. Who stays, who goes? For McDonald's, Triple M rocks finals footy. As the umpire steps in, looks at the dot, right in the centre of the Gabba and eventually slams it into the deck. We're underway, good bounce. English and Ryder both had hands on it. Ground level, Seb Ross. First little hand pass out, still in the middle of the ground. They pile it on top of the footy. And Big English will see it happen all over again.
First little change, the Bulldogs have moved Caleb Daniel onto the wing. So Jaron Geary was getting a better of him. They've moved Daniel up to the wing.
Ball thrown in the air this time. Players have flooded off the square. Right down to Zach Jones. The ball's punched away from him. Ended up with Hunter. Little hand pass to Bontempelli for the Bulldogs. Long kick to half-forward. Dougal Howard read it well. He read it nicely. Got in front of Josh Bruce and took the mark on his chest at half-back.
He's been a great asset for the Saints this year, Dougal Howard. So from half-back, the high one towards centre wing. Bontempelli in the front of the pack. Fisted away from him. And we'll have a boundary throw-in. What are Bont's numbers in that first half, Ash?
Yeah, Bontempelli had 10 disposals in that first half, Brownie.
Yeah, Seb Ross playing with him, just trying to nullify him around the stoppages particularly.
Wasn't a damaging 11 disposals for the Bont. Right up, very good. That's a good handball from Bontempelli. Out to Caleb Daniel. Went the barrel, didn't really get onto it, but got to the top of 50. Fisted over the back. Runners back for the Saints. Dougal Howard again. Right foot ball. He's got some runners on this side. One of those is Billings, and Billings takes the mark on his chest at half-back.
So Billings stands, delivers little short drop punt about 30 metres close to the boundary line. Membry good enough to take the mark. Easton Wood right with him. So virtually true wing position broadcast side now, the Saints. They have it by 7 points. We've just started the third quarter at the Gabba. In the elimination final, long kick up to the big man Max King, caught behind this time, couldn't mark. Ball bounced towards Johannesson, close to the boundary line. Punts it out to Bailey Williams, he runs out of bounds. 7 points for the Saints. Triple M IJ Liquor scoreboard, a real arm wrestle now. These two traditional Melbourne clubs just eye each other off.
Ryder and English. English didn't even contest that one. The Saints threw long, a high ball inside forward 50. Where are the markers? Nobody. Fisted away. Was the good fist too. Got back 30 metres. Bailey Smith tracks it towards the boundary line. Tried to keep it in, but eventually in front of him and Butler goes out of bounds. The boundary throw in 55 around from the Saints goal.
Looks like Marshall's resting forward as well, Joey. So they've got Ryder, Marshall and King all on the ground at the same time.
Ryder to do the ruck work. Did it really well to Long again. Long wrapped up in the tackle. Did really well to get his hands free. Then the handball from Jones got smothered. Bontempelli missed the handball from Smith. Ball jarred out of there. Well done by Billings. Found some space. Ryder snapped the ball back inside forward 50. And coming back and taking the brilliant mark was Membry. It was like a slips catch in the end. It went that hard inside forward 50. And he just had the jukes to mark it.
Yeah, we just see the Triple M Bosch Tools replay. We talk about the Western Bulldogs zone defence. Easton Wood playing about 5 or 6 metres in front of Membry. That's what they do. But the quick kick found Membry and it was a sharp grab. Nice hands.
Their two key forwards are proving very, very good today. Membry and both King. Membry had a couple of shots at goal. I think he's 1 goal 2 so far today, and maybe one that didn't even make the distance. Very good set shot at goal. Membry comes in and gets it for the Saints. 2 to Membry. And now it's a handy lead, 13 points. Game high, 6-4-40. Western Bulldogs 4-3-27. Triple MIJ Liquor scoreboard.
Well, I know the Western Bulldogs like to play the zone defence, but at some point, Easton Wood, you actually have to defend. It's only a 30-metre kick that was, and he marked it unopposed, Membry. You've got to lock down. The Saints are doing it really well, though, because they're providing themselves in little pockets of space. They're not allowing the Western Bulldogs to be able to come across and intercept. So they're getting really good looks when those quick kicks are coming in. And Membry, in that instance, as all good forwards do, first to react, really good clunk and a really good finish.
How many marks inside 50 is that for St Kilda, Chew?
Yeah, that's 9 marks inside their attacking 50. The Bulldogs concede 9 inside their D50 for an entire game.
Triple M Movember stats with the great Ashley Chua. 6 men take their own lives every day. Grow a mo to save a bro. Go to Movember.com. It's a 13-point lead now to the Saints. Dangerous looking St Kilda. The Bulldogs, second season in a row in the finals. Don't want to be bundled out for McDonald's. Triple M rocks finals footy. Bounces good midway through the third term. Good bounce. Ryder up. Big leap over English. Tapped the ground level to Bontempelli. And then Ryder went and hustled him off the footy. Hand pass to Sinclair. Another one to Hanbury. Kicks inside. Membry in front. Nearly marks on his chest. Not quite. McRae, little hand pass to Williams at halfback for the Dogs. Another hand pass to Bailey Smith. Got a bit of space. Kicks it out towards the ring in front of Richards. Coming in to lend assistance. Rourke Smith. Hand pass back to Richards. Now a kick to half forward from the Dog.
He wants English and he got him. English marked the ball. 80 from home. Still 2 kicks. It's a short little one. He's got the runners. Smith's one of them. Handball to the inside. Lipinski didn't get a really good beast of it. Coming in, picking up the ball. Right foot snap across his body. That's a terrific goal from Dunkley. He had to pick it up from his bootlaces, turn around, and the right foot snap, not something you normally see from Dunkley, but that was brilliant. The Dogs get one back. 6-4-40 the Saints. The Dogs are 5-3-33. Triple MIJ Liquor scoreboard.
Well, they desperately needed that one, the Doggies, that's for sure. Again, though, the ruck battle is an absolute ripper at the minute. Paddy Ryder, real dominance around the ball, but we see in that passage of play on the Bosch Tools replay, English's work rate and ability to go forward on him, taking that mark, being the real key link in that passage of play. Again, it's not probably the traditional way you want your goal scoring at the minute for the Western Bulldogs, but a goal's a goal, and I'm sure they'll take it, Joey.
Yeah, he's been dangerous, Dunkley, as a half forward. He's won a lot of ground ball, a lot of ball in the front half. What are his numbers, Chew? Josh Dunkley?
Josh Dunkley for Triple M Movember stats. 8 disposals, 3 tackles and kicked that major.
Triple M Seabus Super special comments there with Joe Montagna, Daisy Thomas. Seabus a super friend that you can trust. I'm a proud member, Joey. You know that?
I've heard that once or twice, Baz, yeah.
Absolutely. For McDonald's, Triple M rocks finals footy. And we're underway again. 7 points up for the Saints. The Dogs get one back. Let's see what they can do now. The bounce is good. McRae at ground level. Wrapped up by Jack Steele. The ball spills to Big Marshall for St Kilda. Bounces a kick to half forward. Tap to Loney. Can he break a tackle? No. Hand pass under pressure. Tap to ground level. Diving on top of it, Lipinski. He's wrapped up in a tackle at half back for the Doggies. And the umpire has called for a ball up about 42 metres from St Kilda's goal.
That was a great tackle from Crozier, who's been dangerous as a forward. He's now gone to the back line.
Great call, Joey. Triple M Seabus super special comments. Ball up, Saints in attack. They'd love another one. They lead by 7. Could be in the back. Bontempelli rode him in there. And the umpire comes in and balls it up. Very, very lucky, the Bont. Umpire elevates it quickly. King doing the ruck work. Nobody touched it. Butler paddled it forward. Met with a wall of Dogs. Williams is one of them. Got it to couple of players, and Lipinski just hoofs the boot into it. Down towards centre wing. Over the back was Marshall. Tackled by English. Tackled to the ground by Bruce as well. They'll have a ball up centre wing.
7 points. Saints got out to a 13-point lead. Ash, was that a game high?
Game high, Baz.
And the Dogs have got one back. Tapped to ground level. Tight elimination final at the Gabba. On the wing. Clark's got it. Under pressure kick. Didn't travel too far, and it was slapped out of bounds by Jack Steele. So still on the wing broadcast side of the ground. 11 and a half minutes left to play in the third term on the Triple M IJ Liquor scoreboard. IJ proudly independent, and St Kilda have a 7-point lead.
Well, Tim Membry's numbers today, Ash, seems like he's had a big day.
He has 12 disposals, thrown in 7 marks and kicked 2 goals, 1.
That is a big day for Membry. So a boundary throw in. Marshall does the ruck work, lays it down, puts it down the throw to Hanbury. They run and carry through Hunter Clark, but his handball was knocked down. Coming in was Bruce, his handball was good. Dunkley charges forward, right foot ball down towards half forward. English leads out. Starting forward at the moment, Tim English. Wants to move the ball quickly. Does. Squeezes one into the pocket. Bontempelli's run down there. Can't mark it. Wilkie screwed it around the body. Only back as far as English.
So English marks back at forward 50. The big ruckman, Ash, has he gone?
Yeah, well, this quarter, that's his 3rd mark and a couple of disposals as well.
He's got Ryder and Marshall to beat, 2 on 1 against, as it was in round 2. Kicked the full forward, but in front.
Advantage, you.
A defensive mark take by St Kilda. Heard the umpire advantage paid. Kick outside defensive 50. Bounces off hands of the wing though. Crozier for the Bulldogs can send them back inside. Long left foot drop punt. Long a big leap at fullback. Didn't complete the mark. Hunter Clark bouncing around like a pinball. Bounces off a couple. The ball eventually spills to Wallace. Pushed it out to McRae. Kicked it 15 metres and Bailey Smith under pressure with Hanbury's taking the mark. I reckon Hanbury might have hurt his right shoulder. Hopefully for him it's just a stinger. But he's on the ground, boys, and he's grimacing with pain.
He's as tough as nails, Baz. He'll be right. But it was a good mark by Bailey Smith. He knew the contact was coming. Kept his eye on the footy. It was an important grab.
So Bailey Smith, slight angle.
Nice pulling of the kick by McRae too.
He'll drop this onto his boot about 30 metres out. Young Bailey to bring it back to a point, and he sprayed it. He sprayed it. It went right. And the Saints hold a 6-point lead. 6-4-40 plays, 5-4-34. Triple M IJ Liquor scoreboard, 10 and a half into the third term.
It's a cracking game of footy. Howard to do the kicking in, runs his full measure and then blasts it towards centre wing. Marshall's out there, brings it to ground level. He knew the voice of Geary was there. Went past Geary though. Now Bontempelli. That was brilliant by Bontempelli. Ran through 3 of them. Lowered the eyes of the left foot. Inside forward 50. Got out the back. Carlisle mopped up. High ball out of the defensive 50. Crozier, big leap. Can't grab it because coming in from the side was Geary. Geary's been brilliant. He's playing on Daniel. Gets up, moves the ball quickly. The Saints on the march. They've got some players out. They've got some streaming forward at the moment. Steele out towards Hill. High ball inside forward 50. The Saints have got numbers everywhere. Just needs to sit for King. King runs around. Right foot snap by King. That's as good as you get, but he brings it back too far. Through for one behind.
Gee.
41 plays 34.
That was Buddy.
Scoreboard.
That was Buddy Franklin-like, wasn't it? For a 200-centimetre man to win the ground ball, spin around, break a tackle, and have a shot from 40. Brought us to our feet.
It did. As Brownie said, it would be as good as you would see. He just needed to finish. But he is playing some good footy, Joey.
I just reckon the Saints have got to be weary here. I think the Dogs have lifted the ante. They've just got to hang in here, St Kilda.
Bailey Williams kicks the Dogs towards the wing. Toe poked off the ground a little bit further on. A race for the footy close to the boundary line. Long and Crozier will see it out of bounds.
There's always going to be a period of the game where the Dogs were going to up the ante and lift and just pressure St Kilda. I reckon this is the moment. St Kilda have got to understand the situation and just try and absorb the pressure that's coming.
Yeah, they don't have to force it. They don't have to force to try and play fast. They just have to understand it, go into that shade that you talk about, Joey. Let this be a period where they just chip it around and take the heat out of it.
Boundary throw in. Dunkley long kick to half forward, but Dougal Howard has taken the mark over the top of Rourke Smith at halfback for the Saints.
Having a big quarter at the moment. Howard runs around the man on the mark and gives himself 30 metres and runs and carries. Kicks it towards centre wing. Coming in was Steele. Picks up the footy. Thought it was out of bounds. It wasn't. Billings from half-back. Touch play on the umpire called. Ball at ground level. Kent tries to control it with one hand. He did okay to Sinclair. Sinclair's hurried kick forward. Did well. Lands in the hands of Hanbury. 60 metres from home. Into the pocket. Player on his Loney. Good kick. Plays on. Left foot. Squares the ball. Well done. Jaron Geary marks it. The Saints are irrepressible at the moment. They're making the right decisions at the right time. And Jaron Geary 30 metres out directly in front.
Well, you speak about a captain's goal. This is huge. He shouldn't miss from here, but he stabbed at one in the second quarter. He's just got to kick through this.
Had a couple of shots at goal already. One didn't make it. One behind. Geary directly in front. Nails the goal for the Saints. And they answer the Dogs. 47 plays 34, back to 13 points. Triple M IJ Liquor scoreboard. Big goal from Geary.
Yeah, it was a huge goal because, as I thought, and Daisy, I think you agreed, Bulldogs were pressing. They were coming. St Kilda just lost a little bit of composure there. They played on from a free kick in the back pocket. They turned one over in the midfield. They were still trying to go fast. It came off that time, but they've just got to be aware at the right time now with a 13-point lead and the Western Bulldogs up in the ante. They've just got to play a bit of tempo, find some uncontested marks. They've only taken 9 uncontested marks in this quarter. We heard they'd had 47 marks at half-time, so just got to be able to control the football at the right time.
And they're certainly up for the challenge. The Bulldogs are throwing everything they've got at them. Their pressure rating in this quarter is 226. The AFL average is 185. So this young, inexperienced St Kilda team really taking it up and at the minute answering every question that's been asked of them.
Triple M November stats. Dougal Howard, number 1 ranked player in this quarter. 4 disposals, 2 marks, both intercept, and he's had 4 intercept possessions as well.
13 points. Again, that game high, Ash. I think equal from before.
Triple M November stats, game high, 13 points, spot on, Baz.
For McDonald's, Triple M rocks finals footy. Still 7.5 minutes of game time left in this third term at the Gabba. Out of the centre go the Saints. It's Zach Jones, kick towards half forward. Bouncing real high. Gardner's got it. Hand pass Jure got pushed on the kick. Livratore, though, takes the mark. Hand pass off to the Bulldogs. Caleb Daniel runs from half back. Kicks the ball through the centre of the ground. Through hands, it ends up with Hunter Clark. Hand pass to Hanbury. A lot of pressure on every possession at the moment. The ball spilled over to McRae. Hand pass to English. Another one to Lipinski. Hand pass to the Bont. He wanted him. Seb Ross was all over him. And he dragged him down in a tackle. And the free kick will go to Ross at half-back.
He's doing a good job, Seb Ross. Bontempelli's had the 13, but as Brownie said, hasn't been a dominant 13. He's doing a really good role.
Under pressure here, the Saints, they might turn it over. No, but Billings came in, made it his own. Left foot ball towards centre wing is a good one too. And he finds Loney. Been busy, Loney.
Work rate's been elite this game. He's been up in defence and then he gets back inside 50. Really good work rate.
Numbers, Ash, because he's kicked the goal already.
Yeah, 9 disposals, 4 marks.
Very good from a small forward towards half forward and Marshall. 2 bites of the cherry. Got it, looks up. Inside forward 50. King, where is he? Membry and Ryder. Can't mark it, King, but Ryder did. At the front of the pack, they both had hands for it, but at the end, Ryder with the second grab, 15 metres out from goal.
It's just what they've done all game, St Kilda. They win that ball, 70 or 80 out. They know they're going to give their tall forwards a chance because the Bulldogs defenders will play in front, get it in long and deep. They're getting good run and looks at it. They're taking plenty of contested marks.
There was at least 5 hands that touched that. In the end, Paddy Ryder already kicked one. Squeezes through number 2. Game high. 19-point margin, 53 plays 34. IJ Liquor scoreboard.
Well, again, Joe, it's Easton Wood found himself on Max King. Wasn't sure whether to try and get the body or fly at the ball. I reckon if he's on anyone else but a Max King, who he gives away such height for, he probably just flies at that and puts a fist through it and doesn't leave. English it was on a one-on-one with Ryder, because those boys genuinely could have raffled that. Really, really good looks, smart looks. It's a clear game plan, and another goal inside 15 metres, Ash.
Yeah, spot on, Daisy. That's goal number 6 inside 15 metres for the Saints.
Bob Jane T-March, Belinda Mellon.
It must be said that Paddy Ryder, as a senior ruckman, is really taking it to Tim English at the moment. Tim English is doing as much as he can, but Paddy Ryder is just playing out of his skin at the moment and teaching Tim English a lesson.
The St Kilda big boys have been phenomenal. I'd love to find out what their contested marks are, if you got that, Ash.
Absolute smashing. It is 17-6 St Kilda's way.
Ooh, Ash. Bob Jane T-March, Belinda.
Dan Hatterbury has finally just succumbed to that shoulder injury, boys. You picked it, Joey. He tried to stay out there. He waved the physio away twice, said, I'm going to be right. I'm going to stay here, even though he couldn't lift his arm above his shoulder after that clash with Bailey Smith. Doctors looking at him on the bench now.
For McDonald's, Triple M, Rocks finals footy, elimination final. The bounce is good and it's a fight for the footy at ground level. St Kilda win it. Ross to Zach Jones. Hand pass off to Long. Long tackled as he kicked it. Bounced only about 15 metres. Butler on hands and knees. Tried to punch it St Kilda's way. Crozier got in the way. Little hand pass back, and now the Dogs are kicked forward to the wing. Up they go. No mark. Fall the ball to Norton. Little hand pass off to big Josh Bruce. Outside forward 50. Hand pass over the top to Bailey Smith. Keeps it just inside the boundary line. Hand pass back to Richards. Another one to Lipinski. He loads up for the Doggies to fall forward. Rourke Smith, a big fly, doesn't mark. Spills to Steele. Dragged down in a tackle. Footy spilled to Caulfield. Threw it onto the right boot. Bounced at 45 away. Out of bounds. And the umpire said deliberate. The umpire said deliberate.
Play on! So the umpire calls play on. Free kick goes to McRae. Smashes it back inside forward 50, and the only man there, Caulfield, takes a saving mark. You'd have to ask Aaron Norton, where is he at the moment? Every time they go inside forward 50, I don't see him.
Well, I reckon Tim English is their best chance up forward. They might have to just make that move and put Tim English to full forward.
Sinclair, his handball was affected, but coming in, Zach Jones off the half-back flank, runs and carries down towards half forward. It's a brilliant kick. Geary can't mark it. Loney at ground level. The crumbs were brilliant. Loney, look away handball. Geary, handball back. Butler, underground ball, bouncing too far. Through for one behind. They've got the Dogs off the bit at the moment. 20-point margin, 8-5, 8-6-54. The Dogs are 5-4-34. Triple MIJ liquor scoreboard.
Every time they go inside 50, they look like scoring this quarter, St Kilda.
Saints on fire in the elimination final. Dogs are going to find something. They lost Cordy early in the match. Hanbury on the bench at the moment for St Kilda with a sore shoulder. Jaray's got it at halfback for the Bulldogs. Short drilling pass to Caleb Daniel. Started the game well. Another short kick, 15 metres to Liberatore. He's on the wing outer side of the ground. Hand pass over the top to the Bont. Bontempelli over the top to Hunter. Now kicks inside. They've worked at the full forward. English and Ryder. Well, big Paddy with the experience worked the young man under the footy and took the defensive mark at fullback.
Best man on the ground, Ryder. He's called to play on. Umpire calls still to play on. He was tackled from behind. Coming in was Patton. Cleans up. Runs from half-back. Has a bounce. Got a couple of chases on, but he was able to get it to Sinclair. Sinclair, right foot ball inside forward 50. Geary can't mark it. Butler ground level. Roved it beautifully. Ran into an open goal. Bang goes Butler. And the Saints are absolutely taking a flamethrower of the Dogs at the moment. They've kicked 6 of the last 7, and they lead by 26. 60 plays 34. Triple MIJ liquor scoreboard.
Just can't believe how dangerous every time they go inside forward 50, how good a looks they're getting at it, whether it be in the air or at ground level. Been absolutely super impressed with that. Dan Butler, he should have kicked the goal just moments ago. Absolute forward, small forward craft that was. Hit it at pace, backed himself in. But the big boys, the Saints big boys, Membry, Ryder, King, all having presence up the other end. Bruce, absolutely nowhere. Norton, yet to be sighted. And then it falls on a young Tim English, who at the minute is getting a fair touch-up by Paddy Ryder.
And Jaron Geary's looking like a superstar as a forward this quarter. He's been so dangerous and lively. If he's not marking it, he's bringing it to ground. And as you said, they've just got the combo going perfectly, St Kilda. If the talls aren't marking it, the smalls are looking dangerous at ground level. It's going to be hard to lose from here for St Kilda.
It's the Triple M Bosch Tools replay. Just beautiful footy from the Saints. Bosch Power Tools and Accessories. Good, better Bosch. For McDonald's, Triple M Rocks finals footy. Don't forget the Monopoly game at Macca's is making winners. Download the app now and get a free chest opening the next day for your chance to win amazing prices. From the bounce, St Kilda kick it forward at half back though, attacking the footy. Johannesson for the Bulldogs. What's happened?
Push down the field it is. Severos on Johannesson.
So Bontempelli thinks it's his. He's kicked to the leader in Norton, but it's going to come back from whence it came on the wing. So Johannesson, who did the running and brought it in, has got to go backwards with a kick to Crozier. So he's on the defensive side of the wing. It's a 26-point lead to St Kilda on the Triple M IJ Liquor scoreboard. The Bulldogs work it across half-back, and Easton Wood has it with 2.5 minutes left to play in the third term.
Well, they need something, the Dogs. They need to go quickly. 26-point margin. They need at least one before three-quarter time. Williams at half-back. Slow play, umpire calls him to play on. Undecided, now goes wide. Got a couple of players out here. The kick was okay in the end, but Dunkley, don't know whether he thought that he was the only one there, but he only put up one hand. It didn't look great. And the ball now tied up on centre wing.
A couple of minutes to go. I reckon that Luke Beveridge may just throw Bontempelli forward, get him out of the goal square, try a different look.
Chip ball. Dogs got a free kick out of that. Didn't see what it was for. But a slow play. Lipinski inside forward 50 to lead. Punch from English. Good lead, good mark. This young man's under enormous pressure at the moment. Yeah. And good to see lead out and mark this footy. Have to be a massive kick. He's going to kick it from outside 50 near the boundary.
As we said before, he looks like their most likely forward target this game. He's been good when he's gone down there. They might have to go back to the old system of playing Josh Dunkley in the ruck. Just try something different and keep Tim English at home, because he's the only one that's looking like an aerial threat in the front half.
So English, he's sold, tries by 26 points. 55 out. Roos the long ball. Brings it back, but it won't come back far enough. Through for one behind. 25-point margin. 1 minute 20 to go before three-quarter time. Triple M IJ Liquor scoreboard. And we rock footy for McDonald's.
We certainly do. We love our Macca's. Good Dougal Howard at full-back for St Kilda. He drives a real good long drop putt, 50 metres into the arms of Big Max King. Nearly marked, not quite. Ball spilled. The Hunter got caught high. Got caught high and long. He's dragged into the ground. Is that Fitty? It is. Oh, a 50-metre penalty against Ben Long. Hunter already had the free kick, Joey. What'd you see?
He's just a hothead, Ben Long. He was frustrated that he gave away the free kick. He threw him to the ground. It was there. We saw Damien Harwick last night. He was filthy at his team for being undisciplined, cost them goals, and this is going to cost St Kilda a goal late in the quarter.
Well, late in the quarter, all right. It's a minute left to play. We're down to seconds. Hunter, he's got to kick at 20 metres, slide angle. Doggy's desperate for a goal, and he's missed. He's hit the post. He's hit the post, and the Saints let him know. 24 points up, St Kilda 9-6, 65, 6-36. That's a big moment, Brownie.
And you can't kick a goal from 15 metres out, pretty much directly in front. I don't think he went through his own routine. It looked like he rushed it. It's a disgraceful kick at goal.
And it's just a huge let-off for Ben Long, because that was undisciplined, and that would have kept the Bulldogs right in this one just before the three-quarter time.
And the momentum it gives them just before three-quarter time, they're not done with yet. Bruce marks it. Bontempelli 55 out. Top of the square. They need a mark. Norton attacks the footy. Sinclair front and centre. His hands were good. The Saints are going to get out of trouble. Bradley Hill got a runner on. Gives it over the top. What do they got? They have to retreat. They've got nothing forward to go to. So a little left foot chipping ball towards centre wing, and the mark taken by Johannesson.
That wasn't the time for Brad Hill to play on. 30 seconds in the quarter, you're 24 points up. Just needed to milk the clock, giving the Dogs one last chance.
Johannesson's gone backwards though with a kick to Duray. So the Bulldogs happy to wind the clock down here, and that will see the Saints go in with a 24-point lead at three-quarter time. They've kicked it short across half-back. Bontempelli's got it. The seconds will beat them going anywhere. And that is an amazing quarter of football from St Kilda. The Saints, 24-point leaders now at three-quarter time. After the Bulldogs led by 5 at quarter time, the Saints by 7 at half time, and they've gone on with the business. 9-6-60. The Bulldogs 5-6-36. 1 quarter left to play for one of these clubs, and the Saints are in the box seat. For McDonald's, Triple M, Rocks Finals footy. For elimination final day, the first one at the Gabba, we're at three-quarter time, and St Kilda lead the Bulldogs by 24 points. The Saints a big third term, 9-6-60. Lead the Western Bulldogs 5-6-36. Nathan Brown is calling the action. Baz here as well, and these two men are just dominating the expert commentary. Joey Montagna and Daisy Thomas, and boys, a big quarter of footy from the Saints.
Yeah, huge quarter of footy, and it started around the contest. They're plus 20 in contested possessions against the Western Bulldogs. That is a huge number. The Dogs just don't win when they get beaten in the contest. It's what they base their game off. A lot of those have been contested marks, but also the ground balls through the midfield. St Kilda are just winning them, and then when they do get it and they go with speed, they are looking so lively inside their forward 50. They've got players free. Their forwards are out the back because of the Dogs zoning defenders. They're getting good looks to take contested marks, and if they're not marking it in the air, their Smalls, Loney, Butler, Geary down there at ground level are looking so dangerous. This game is theirs for the taking, St Kilda, if they just continue to play the way they are. Can't see them getting beat from here, Days.
No, neither can I. And I think in that first 10 minutes of that quarter, the Western Bulldogs threw absolutely everything they had at St Kilda, and St Kilda were up to the challenge. The pressure rating from the Bulldogs was through the roof. But the Saints' ability just to be able to withstand that, pick the right times to chip it around a little bit. They didn't get the first half of that quarter on their terms in terms of getting the speed that they have throughout the game in. But then the back half of it, when they got some deep, clean looks, they were absolutely insatiable.
Yeah, credit to the St Kilda defence. Hunter Clark has been enormous. Dougal Howard that quarter. Jack Sinclair and Callum Wilkie. They've been so composed in their back line. And then their stars, Dan Hanbury, Zach Jones, a couple of their recruits have been enormous.
Triple M Movember stats, Ash, at three-quarter time.
Yeah, those contested marks, 19-8 St Kilda's Wayne Ryder, number one ranked player up until three-quarter time, 11 possessions, 11 hit-outs, he's kicked 2 majors.
Testicular cancer is the number one cancer in young men. Grow a motor, save a bro, and go to Movember.com.
Just going to be interesting to see what Luke Beveridge does to throw around his side, because Bruce and Norton have been targeted twice between them inside the forward 50. Compare that to Membry and King, who have been targeted 13 times. They're just not utilising Norton and Bruce at all, so maybe they've got to mix it up. Maybe it's Bontempelli, maybe it's English. Luke Beveridge has got to throw the magnets around if they're to win this.
Well, Nathan Brown, it goes down in history now that he's one of the greatest people ever born. He'll kick us off in the final term with a 24-point lead in the elimination final. St Kilda over the Dogs.
They've only kicked 5 goals, the Dogs. They kicked 3 in the first term and only 2 since then. 24-point margin in favour of the Saints. Just a couple of major ball winners, Ash, before the bounce.
Bailey Smith, 18 disposals, and Hanbury with 17 for the Saints.
How's Bailey Smith's effective rate going?
Still 6 kicks, 0% efficiency.
For McDonald's, Triple M at Rocks Footy, the Saints on their way to their first finals win in a long time, or what have the Dogs got left? Bouncing like a pinball in the middle of the ground. McRae tried to get out and he can't.
Well, there's the first move. Josh Bruce into the ruck, trying to really put a knee through Paddy Ryder there. That's one way to try and slow him down.
As the umpire comes in, has to pick up the footy from the ground, elevates it. Bruce up high, but Ryder's tap was good. Inching the ball via his knee down towards Hunter at half-back, picked it up, got it to McRae. McRae turned around, left foot ball inside forward 50. It's a shallow entry, and coming out, Caulfield. It's been very good today, Caulfield.
Caulfield kicks to Zach Jones, defensive side of the wing, and he marks. Stands flat-footed. Saints' first final in 9 years. And a 24-point lead to start the final term. Kick across the wing. The Bulldogs have numbers at the back of the pack. Bailey Williams had it, not too sure where to go. So we had to wait until he was basically tackled, then throw it onto his boot in hope, and sitting underneath the footy again, Caulfield. You a bit frustrated, Days? I saw your hand go up.
Yeah, it just looked like for a Bulldogs team who's playing for everything at the minute, it's a high ball, 4 blocks sat there and looked at each other, let Caulfield mark it unopposed.
So Hunter Clark has it at true centre half-back for St Kilda.
Handball to the runner. Not a great kick. Went straight back to Bailey Smith. Handball to Bontempelli. Stepped around Hill. Went with the right foot down towards half forward. Dunkley rode the ball beautifully. Now hoiks it high to the top of the square. Caulfield, the only man back there. What are his intercept marks today, Ash?
Yeah, that's his third intercept mark. Number 1 at the club for intercept marks is Caulfield.
Just another one of these unheralded defenders. Dougal Howard, Callum Wilkie, Hunter Clark. They've just done it so well tonight. They've been composed when they've been under pressure, and they've stood up when they've needed to.
Triple M Movember stats combining there with the Triple M Seabus Super special comments from Joey. Seabus, a super fund you can trust. Short kick to Hunter Clark at half-back for St Kilda. They're in the box seat here. Kicks a long ball to the wing. Geary just thumps it 15 metres the Saints' way. Kent can run onto it, and he does. Nice pick up. Left foot long ball inside. It's wide. King had no chance, and Keith Sees it just go out of bounds on the full and gets the free kick in the back pocket for the Dogs.
Waste no time. Got it to Crozier, who started forward. Kicked the goal in that first quarter. Long ball to centre wing. 1-on-1. Two little men out there. Hunter. And he ended up winning out against Sinclair. He had some support. Now Hunter with a left foot down towards 50. Mitch Wallace used his body really well. Turned around. Went without the footy, but now get a free kick. Hunter Clark got him too high.
Stand up, please.
Umpire asked him to stand up. Used his manners. So Mitch Wallace, 55 out. Goes lateral. It's a short ball. Duray looked for the handball going past. There was nothing on. He goes lateral ball into the middle to Williams. Pretty much every Saints player ahead of him at the moment. It's a jam-packed forward 50. So he'll just have to unload with a high ball. English with the fly from the back. Can't mark the footy. Ground level. Wallace got it to Hunter. Handball back towards McRae. McRae hooks it back to the top of the square. Opportunity number 2, but coming in was big Jake Carlisle, who must be said has been very, very good today.
Yeah, considering he got dropped a few weeks ago against the West Coast Eagles, they didn't even pick him. He's been excellent tonight.
What his intercept possessions, Ash?
Yeah, Jake Carlisle for Triple M November stats. 8 intercept possessions and throw in 3 intercept marks as well with his 11 touches.
Former Bomber Ash, he's found some touch.
Certainly has.
Kicked 8 goals in a game once, Baz.
He did. Jake Carlisle. So the Saints with a 24-point lead. Boundary thrown on the wing. English tapped it down the ground level. McRae tried to kick it off the ground for the Bulldogs. Bontempelli did. When you kick it off the ground in hope and you don't find a target, it's probably a 50-50. Long marks at halfback.
Jake Carlisle, the only player in the AFL that's current day to have kicked major goals, 2 of in 4 quarters of football.
Really?
Make sense of that? Yep.
Yeah.
That's a Movember stat for Triple M.
It is. Days has been sitting on that all day. And we just want to see how he was playing, Days, before you brought it out. Kick to the wing. It's a fight for the footy. Contested ball. Bailey Smith won it. Punts it back towards the big man in Easton Wood. Players on hands and knees, shoved out the side of the pack, the big English. Ruckman's got to work like a midfielder. Hunter Clark's in there for the Saints. And they roll around on the deck and the umpire will ball it up. Still on the outer side wing, and the Saints still with that 24-point lead as we tick up to the 5-minute mark of the final term.
Bit over 4 minutes, taken off the clock for the Saints. No goals for the Dogs. Ball up, Paddy Ryder was high, but only as far as Liberatore. Hasn't had the influence in the second half that he had on the first half. In fact, for most of the year, Ash, the Dogs have been a better first half side.
Yeah, just with Libba Brownie, he had 7 possessions in the first quarter, only 5 since quarter time.
Well battled.
So still a 24-point margin. Ball up near the point of the square. Dogs half of the ground. English and Ryder win that one to Ryder. Handwork was brilliant. Finishes up with Kent. Handball to the outside. Billings got it from Hanbury. Billings goes towards half forward. Heaps of Dogs players out there. Fist the ground level. Duray got it. Underground handball from Daniel. And now the Dogs through Gardner.
Gardner stands and delivers. Kicks back to the wing immediately. Oh, Norton, nice. Contested mark. Flew over the back and took it for the Bulldogs. Hand pass off to the running Johannesson. Little low, drop punt 30 metres inside, but again Caulfield. Brilliant final turn. Marks inside defensive 50, punched it out to Patton for the Saints, and he goes long with the ball outside. That'll be punched out of bounds and Spall, but geez, Caulfield, Ash.
That's his 4th intercept mark in this quarter alone for Caulfield for Triple M November stats.
And only the 4 intercept marks for the game. All in the first 4 minutes of this last quarter. Having a very good patch. So boundary throw in. The Dogs. Can they find something? Bontempelli trying to lift them. Pedal the ball to his own advantage and then went, I'm going to do it all myself and go from 50 metres and push it wide. It was a good effort though from Bontempelli. 3 for 1 behind. 23-point margin in favour of the Saints. Triple M install a REM scoreboard.
Short kick Howard. Oh, it's a dangerous ball. Long's dropped the mark. Liberatore punts it out to McRae. He wants to have a snap, but he's hooked it under pressure and it's hit the point post on the full, out in the full. Just the pressure on the ball carrier when the Bulldogs get it, Days. It's phenomenal from the Saints.
Yeah, it's almost St Kilda have done to the Bulldogs what the Bulldogs usually do to other teams and what they did in their premiership year. It's been a full, comprehensive effort from this St Kilda football side today.
Dougal Howard from the back pocket goes real short to Jack Steele and he marks.
Numbers today for Jack Steele, Ash.
Yeah, Jack Steele for Triple M November stats, 14 disposals.
Testicular cancer is the #1 cancer in young men. Grow a motor saver, bro. Go to Movember.com. Good to have them on board as Bailey Williams runs an arc. Handball to Daniel. Handball back to Johannesson. Geary tries to push him away. He has to go wide. Well done by Geary. The Saints with numbers. Caulfield again. Just takes it over the boundary line on the 50. Of the boundary throw in, Joey.
Yeah, it's just showing some real composure and experience here, St Kilda. They know they don't have to do anything reckless. They've just taken the gas out of this quarter. They're playing it safe and conservative. They've only had the one inside 50, but they know they just need to slow the game down and not concede too many goals to win this.
The Dogs locking it in their forward half. No reward as yet on the scoreboard. Hands and knees, hand pass. Comes out to Hanbury and he's tackled by Liberatore. His hand pass goes out of bounds. So the Saints throwing themselves at the bodies of the Bulldogs, who are pushing it forward desperately, but they cannot hit the scoreboard. 23 points up St Kilda. And the clock tells us there's 9 minutes and 40 left in the match on the Triple M installer room scoreboard.
Been able to take some great seconds off the clock, the Saints. Marshall to the ruck work. English won this one. Lipinski went without it. Bontempelli too. Caleb Daniel came in. He's got a player on the outside in English. He got it to English, stepped inside, under pressure, as they've always been. Caleb Daniel with a left foot. Back inside forward 50. Caulfield couldn't mark it. Ground level long. Runs away. One bounce. Looks up. He's under pressure. He's been chased hard. That's a pretty good kick though. Almost found Kent. Geary came in and helped him, and Geary just puts it on the boot.
Yeah, it's a scrubby one. He was under pressure, bounced to the wing. Jarray got in the way for the Bulldogs. He was on his own. Kicked it short to Hunter. He runs and delivers again. Just pumps it long in hope. To full forward Norton. Norton in front of a big pack is marked. And here's the opportunity for the Bulldogs. He's marked 25 out. It'll be a little bit worse than a 45-degree angle. But Daisy, here comes the moment.
Well, that's it. Some days it is. It might not be your day, but it can be your moment, Joey. And this is the biggest moment of, I dare say, his young career.
Well, they have worked and worked and worked for an opportunity in this quarter. St Kilda's defensive pressure has been magnificent. They lead by 23 points. Norton with a set shot has kicked the goal. The game is alive. 17 points up the Saints. 8.5 left to play. 9-6-60 St Kilda. 6-7-43 the Dogs. The Triple M installer room scoreboard built tough for Aussie conditions with the latest technology when it comes to water heating installer room.
Yeah, they've upped the ante in the contested ball. The Western Bulldogs 17-8 this quarter, which has resulted in 7 inside 50s to 1. And while it's good that St Kilda just are taking a bit of the gas out of the game and being composed, they've just got to be careful they don't play on their heels for the next 8 minutes, because the Bulldogs will keep coming. They'll keep throwing everything at this last 8 minutes and try and attack. So St Kilda's still at the right time. They've got to go forward and get the ball in their front half, Daisy. But to do that, they've got to get back to winning the contested ball to be able to get it in their front half.
Yeah, they've got to get some footy on their own terms again. And you're right, they just can't shut up shop, because 8 minutes 20 on the clock is too long. And the Bulldogs, well, we know they're going to have to throw everything at them, throw caution to the wind in some sense. So could be a very, very interesting 8 minutes 20. And Joey just starts to get a little bit more nervous, I sense, over here, boys.
Belinda on the boundary for Bob Jane team, Art.
Well, if the Bulldogs are going to do it, they have to do it without their skipper. Marcus Bontempelli has just limped from the field. It's a problem with his right hip. Physio's on him right now.
For McDonald's Triple M Brock's footy, the Dogs go through. Dunkley forward, Richards, opportunity, left foot ball. He's hooked it back too far. Opportunities arising at the moment for the Dogs. They need to take them. That was there and he didn't. 16-point margin, 60-44 installer room scoreboard.
Caleb Daniel's been thrown forward now as well.
Look at them super special comments. The great Daisy Thomas. Dougal Howard from fullback runs out of the square. Long ball for the Saints towards the wing on the outer side of the ground. It beats the hands and rolls out of bounds on the wing, Ash.
Ground ball this quarter, 15-4 the Bulldogs' way, and the clearance is 6-1 also the Bulldogs' way.
Triple M Movember stats from Ashley Chua. They all want him. He'll always be a Triple M man.
So boundary throw in. Inside the last 8 minutes, Ryder's tap work was good to Hanbury on the run. Butler been very good. Hooks it inside forward 50. The kick, the bounce to Membry. Membry's got a player on. It's Geary. Sits up. Geary. That will do. Big goal to Geary. His second. They get the answer. And that makes it very hard for the Dogs now. Triple M installer Ream scoreboard back to 22 points.
That was terrific, and I'll tell you what, it was the three recruits they got to the footy club. Paddy Ryder, down to Dan Hanbury, to Dan Butler, and it was finished with Jaron Geary. As we said, the only player that played in that last final for St Kilda in 2011. He's led this club beautifully through some really tough times, and he's now getting his rewards. And who would have thought, as a forward, started the game on Caleb Daniel, was able to kick one goal, one on him early, but then Daniel got moved out of the back line, put on the wing. Geary stayed forward, and he's looked lively all game.
Paddy Ryder's work has been absolutely unbelievable. I'd love to find out what his hit-outs to advantage are, Ash, because he's taken Tim English around today and he's shown him what an elite ruckman can do, not only around the ground, but at the stoppage facet as well.
Yeah, 8 hit-outs to advantage out of his 16 hit-outs in total. To Tim English, only the 2 hit-outs to advantage.
Well, the Saints, can they be stopped from here? You'd think 22 points, 7.5 minutes left to play. It's going to be real tough for the Dogs, and as Belinda Mallon just told us, for Bob Jane T-Marts, Bontempelli was in trouble on the bench. For McDonald's, Triple M rocks footy. Big Josh Bruce in the ruck. He grabs it out of midair, kicks to half forward. Rourke Smith won't mark. Spills to the back. Lipinski's running onto it. Wilkie's on his hammer. Close to the boundary line. 40 around from the Dogs' goal. Whistle went, dropping the ball. Hot call. And Bradley Hill has got the free kick at half-back for St Kilda.
So happy just to wind it now about Bradley Hill. 7 minutes to go. 22-point margin. A right foot ball towards centre wing. Ryder, that's a terrific mark. Best man on the ground. Who's been enormous. Turns around. Hoiks it towards half forward. Well done by Gardner. Came from the back and fisted it down. Liberatore's handball. It was a sweeper and it got towards McRae. Smith runs and carries. Crozier on the right foot towards half forward. To shallow enter inside forward 50, and Norton elevates himself. Haven't sighted him for 3 quarters. He's starting to come good. Kicks inside forward 50, and Hunter dribbles in and marks it on the other side of the 50. He left the kick at 45 metres out in a 45-degree angle.
Aaron Norton, unbelievable. Hadn't touched it. He had 2 disposals in the first 3 quarters, and he's taken, is it 3 contested marks already in this last quarter?
Actually wasn't on the screen at all. We didn't see him. Lockie Hunter missed a very easy goal in the 3rd quarter. He makes up for that now with a big kick, and he gives the Dogs some hope. They get the answer back. It's a 16-point margin. Still 6 minutes 14 to go. Install a Ream scoreboard.
Well, they're a champion side, Joey, for good reason. They're hanging around. They're giving themselves every opportunity. They haven't just laid down yet. And this is going to be a big 6 minutes. Expect the Bulldogs. They're still just going to have to go for it. They've got to get some more corridor football, some more handball into their game.
Yeah, well, it's going to be the clearances again. We've spoken about it all game, but this is where it's important, particularly out of the centre bounce now. Paddy Ryder's been enormous in the centre bounces. He's just got to get his hand on it, and St Kilda get it in their front half, because if the Dogs get it, they're going to press, and it looks like Marcus Bontempelli's going to spend the rest of this game as a forward. We know he's sore, as Belinda said. They've just got to keep an eye out for him.
Triple M Bosch Tools replay, ripping footy from Aaron Norton. Bosch Power Tools and Accessories, good better Bosch, contested style mark, and got it to Hunter, who finished. So 14 points, 16 points St Kilda's way. And we've got 6 minutes and 10 seconds left of game time. For McDonald's, Triple M rocks footy. They put Bontempelli back in the centre, the Dogs. Last roll of the dice, the bounce is good. Up they go, Ryder got the tap. It was a beautiful tap to steal. That was just terrific ruck work. Hand pass off to Jones, who kicked at the half forward. Memory on the lead, and he's taken the mark. So Memory about 65 metres out from goal. Called to play on. The Dogs have threatened one more time. The Saints looking to snuff out the challenge. Memory's kicked the full forward. Ryder up. Off hands, Billings. Trips over. Gets back up. And the ball was hit the post from the kick. Oh, he got a bit of step. A spring in his step. 17 points St Kilda's lead. Brownie, 5.5 to go.
The Dogs through Bailey Williams play on. Ran himself into a bit of trouble, but eventually got it to Duray. It's a darting ball towards Eastonwood. He was good enough to control it. Get it back to Williams. He's got a runner on the outside. That man's Bailey Smith. Hill tries to track him down. Smith towards half forward. Dunkley up, elevates himself and marks it. Just inside forward 50. Not the best kick in the world, but he's kicked one today already. So Dunkley doesn't look like he wants to have the shot, looking to lay it off.
He's got to take the responsibility. He's got to go back and have a shot.
Got to go.
Joey says take the responsibility, which he does, and he goes bang, but he's missed it. It looked good off the boot, but faded late. 51 plays, 67. Triple M install a room scoreboard.
16 points, St Kilda. Dougal Howard at fullback. Both sides tied. Cutthroat elimination final. The winner to take on the Tigers next week in the Cutthroat semi. Long kick from Howard outside defensive 50. Easton Wood off hands, grabs it. Hand pass comes out to Crozier. He's a booming left foot drop punt. Kicks inside. Richards flies. In there was Bruce as well. Neither mark. The footy's on the deck. The pack piling on top of the footy. 35 out from the Dogs' goal. The umpire's called for a ball up.
This is where they're dangerous inside forward 50, the Western Bulldogs. They'll feed back handball and watch their halfbacks potentially get a shot on goal.
25 metres out from the Dogs' goal. 4 minutes 33. They still need to kick 3. Bontempelli charges through. Caleb Daniel. And he gets a little bit of it. Non-15, umpire called play on. Mitch Wallace, Liberatore, snaps it across his shoulder. Has it got the legs? You bet it has. This game's alive again. 10-point margin. 4 minutes 17 to go. And the Dogs trail by 10. Install a room scoreboard.
I know I shouldn't laugh, but Joey is slinking into his seat. Nervous times, but Bulldogs, they're back into it. They're getting it into a contest. They're getting speed in the ball. They're doing to the Saints what the Saints did to the Bulldogs for 3 quarters. They're getting some speed into it with some handball, some overlap run, and then they're getting it in deep, and they're locking it in, getting some stoppages, and on the back of that, Liberatore across the body, too good. Game on.
Yeah, 12 inside 50s to 3. 26 handball receives to 9. So St Kilda have stopped running. They have almost shut shop, just playing long down the line. The Bulldogs, they are handballing and running and taking the game on.
10 points is the margin. St Kilda lead, and the time clock tells us 4 minutes and 16 seconds left to play. That's a lifetime in the modern game. The Bulldogs right back in business. Bontempelli in the centre. The Saints hanging on. It's all on the line now in the elimination final.
You just want English to get his hand to this one, don't you? You don't want an easy takeaway for the Saints.
For McDonald's, Triple M rocks footy. The bounce is good. Ryder grabs it out of the ruck for the Saints. Kicks it to half forward. Attacking the pack was Kent. He couldn't grab the footy though. Off hands Crozier. Banged it on the left boot. Bailey Smith, he's been dangerous. He runs to the wing. Picks it up. Kicks the Dogs to half forward. Big leap Bruce, no mark. Long grabs the footy at ground level. Got to get around Dunkley. Little hand past Caulfield. Kick was smothered. Went out of bounds. That was Caleb Daniel. And the Dogs lock it just inside their forward 50.
What about that contest at half forward, Joey?
Duray and Kent. Duray, terrific courage to stop the Kent mark. It's given him a chance. Paddy Ryder, though, single-handedly just trying to win this for the Saints, but they just can't finish the game off.
Almost have to play perfect football, the Dogs. Running back with the footy was Seb Bryce. His handball to Wilkie was okay. High up and under by Wilkie. He's going to go out of bounds on the full. Free kick will go to the Dogs. So Bailey Smith.
3 metres.
Umpire brings the mark back to about 55.
Watch for Norton.
Bailey Smith. That's a low darting ball. English couldn't mark it. Fisted away. Only Saints there. Bradley Hill had a double grab at it. Probably could have taken it cleanly. Now the Dogs with an opportunity. Wallace's handball went out. It'll get picked up for a throw. Or is it in the back? I think the umpire said in the back. Mitch Wallace with the free kick. He's a good kick at goal too, Mitch Wallace. This is just about the most pressure kick he's ever had in his life.
Postal's replay, it was there. Bradley Hill fell straight into his back as he was trying to get rid of it.
He goes at 75%. 45 out, Mitch Wallace to bring them within a kick. It comes back. Not far enough. One behind. 9-point margin. The Saints breathe a sigh of relief on the Triple M install the ream scoreboard.
What's the time in forward half, if you could, for this last quarter, Ash? Seems like the Bulldogs have had it wholly and solely in their forward 50.
83% in this final quarter.
There's a big Triple M November stat right there. 2 minutes 58 left on the clock. The Bulldogs are going to go again. It's a 9-point lead to the Saints because English is marked outside forward 50 from the kick in. Big Tim English. He's called to play on the big man. He pops it to about 20 from home. A pack of 12 fly. Bontempelli in midair. Crozier down to Caleb Daniel. Wrapped up in a tackle. He got caught high. He's caught high. It's a free kick to Caleb Daniel. He's about 20 metres out on a slide angle. And the Dogs have got another set shot.
Well, this just tests your nerve right here. He's one of the best kicks in the competition. He's been praised all year for his disposal. He just has to go back and slot it.
11-3 from set shots this year. Caleb Daniel, an All-Australian. He steps up and the Dogs bang in it. My word, they are! It's down to a kick. 3 points up the Saints and the Dogs are charging. 2 minutes left to play in the match. Triple M installer room scoreboard and the Gabba's going off.
That certainly is, and possibly not the worst result for St Kilda here, Joey, because they have shut up shop. They've got so close now. They're going to be forced to have to play the way they had for the first 3 quarters, which was so damaging. They can't just go into slow play now. They can't try and save this game for another 2 minutes. They're going to have to try and get another score on the board.
Well, they've just got to win this centre clearance. 16 inside 50s to 4. They've just got to win the centre clearance and get it in their front half. They have not been able to just to play and pin them in at all this quarter. Every time they have won the centre clearance, Daisy, it's come straight back. So, again, huge centre clearance, Baz. We keep harping on it. Let's see who both sides put in there.
3-point margin. 4 of the last 5 goals of the game to the Dogs. 85% time in their forward half in this last quarter, and they've come with a storm. 2 minutes and 5. Umpire in the middle of the Gabba. Pressure on him as well. He wants to get this right. This has been Paddy Ryder's bread and butter. Good tap by Ryder. Got it forward. Coming through is English. He couldn't take it. Ball underneath the pack. Needs to get that one out. He needs to get it out. The umpire gave Seb Ross the benefit of the doubt. We'll have a ball up.
Just seeing if St Kilda are trying to drop an extra behind the ball. They haven't at the moment. Both wings are still at the stoppage.
Umpire wastes no time. Liberatore inched it forward. Sinclair came in, picked it up, got some yardage for the Saints. It was a good kick too. Got down towards half forward. Bouncing ball. Gardner. Handball missed. Had to go back in and get it. Jones got it over the boundary line. Boundary throw in. Down to 1 minute 38. Saints half forward line.
Oh, this is where they get an opportunity now, just to lock it in, try and just take a bit of time off the clock. They've still gone with now 6 forwards, although Tim Membry might be going behind the football, but the Western Bulldogs have manned them up to not give an extra defender.
Boundary throw-in. What a magnificent final series we are seeing in 2020. It's all on the line. 1:30 on the clock. Saints at half forward. Bulldogs at half back will claim it through Bailey Williams. Drives it long. Saints up by 3 points. Membry at half back. It went over Crozier's head. And Tim Membry has taken the defensive mark, and the big man is just going back real slow, Brownie.
Brilliant move by Brett Ratton to get Membry behind the footy. Saved the day once. Does he have to save it again? Because it's going to come forward again. Keith gave the handball off. The Dogs run and carry. Left foot off the half-back flank. Down to Woodson, a half forward. Fisted away. Caleb Daniel round level. Been pretty good. Handball out towards Taylor Duray. He's a booming left foot kick. On this occasion, he uses a little bit of craft. Josh Bruce lays a tackle. Too high. Oh. He was a bit rambunctious in his tackle. Free kick to the Saints, and Caulfield's been very good.
He's been awesome this last quarter, Nick Caulfield. For a young man, he's been super.
So, Caulfield at half back. Drops it onto the right boot. He's gone wide. Why wouldn't he? Boundary line on Marshall, and Marshall marks. 25 seconds on the clock. 24-23. It ticks down. 3 points up the Saints. Their first final in 9 years. The coaches, Bosch Jules replay. They can hardly look at it. Long ball. The Dogs are going to go from half back. Whistle goes. Free kick to the Bulldogs. 8 seconds on the clock. You'd reckon it's not enough time, Keith. It ticks down. I reckon the Saints are home. A kick to half forward. They're home. St Kilda are home. The Saints' first final in 9 years, and it's a win. Dogs are devastated. St Kilda are absolutely thrilled. 10-7-67. The Bulldogs 9-10-64 in an elimination final classic.
When the Saints go
Well, some amazing scenes out there. We'll get to all of those. Plenty of time in the post-match, but St Kilda have won the game, 3 points up in the end. They fought it out, these two traditional Melbourne clubs, Joey and Days, and they didn't let their supporters down, but there can only be one winner in an elimination final, and today it was the Saints.
Yeah, realistically, they were the better team for the majority of that game. They deserved to go on and win it. Full credit to them. It's obviously going to be a few stories coming out of this one, as we saw on the Bosch Tools replay. Paddy Ryder in tears on the bench there, went off late in that game. And the Bulldogs players, absolute devastation across the field. Players strewn out everywhere. But that was an absolute classic. Joey, what'd you make of it?
Yeah, look, it was, St Kilda obviously shut shop in that last quarter. They just tried to save the game. It's always risky. The Bulldogs had nothing to lose, but they deserved the win. They were super. Their pressure, their ball winning around the contest, their forward line, their defence were enormous, just with the composure for such a young group. Oh, they deserve this. And you're right, the big story looks like Paddy Ryder. Potentially, the way he's hobbling, it looks like either a calf or hamstring.
And how good was he today?
He was unbelievable.
Yeah.
That's as good a game as I've seen Paddy Ryder play for a long, long time. We'll get to that a bit later. He looks devastated, but he was a huge part with St Kilda going on to the semi-finals this year.
Spot on, Joey. It's a ripping final. And we've seen three beauties so far in 2020, and that one didn't let us down.
And all credit to the Western Bulldogs too. I mean, they could have just laid down, but they fought right to the death. They were coming hard, they pressed, and it was a great game.
All right, let's go down to ground level. Dan Hanbury there, one of the victorious Saints for Channel 7.
It was unbelievable. Some of the blokes that stood up, Nick Caulfield, arguably broken best on. He was unbelievable with the amount of intercept marks. Geary to kick the goals on Daniel and Johannesson, who were there. Best play. Some of the team efforts was outstanding. They were always going to come at some point, and they did, and we hung on, and it was just an unbelievable win.
Well, we've got Paddy Ryder over there just being consoled by the boys. He's in tears on the bench. He did come off the interchange. I'm not sure if you're aware, with about a minute to go. Does that break your heart? Do you think that it's something serious there? Or?
Look, I'm not too sure. I saw him crying there. I know he had an unbelievable game. He's pretty animated in that last quarter directing the guys, so I'm not sure. Fingers crossed it's nothing major, but he was unbelievable.
And Rat spoke pre-game about the hub being good for you guys. He thinks it's been great to, I guess, build that bond and become an even more cohesive group. Do you feel that as a playing group?
Yeah, we took a lot of steps in the pre-season to become a connected group. There's a lot of young guys and new recruits, and myself included, that came to the club, and we've developed a really close bond. And certainly this hub experience, even though I missed a big chunk of it, we've become a lot closer and connected, and I think it's been really good for us.
And just very quickly, as we said, a long time, 9 years since the finals birth. I'm sure you've got a message for all of your Saints fans around the country.
Oh, they're unbelievable. I mean, even tonight, the amount of people that were here tonight cheering, they were super loud and unbelievable supporters, and we just hope they keep getting around us next weekend, and just really happy to be able to get a finals win for the boys, for the club, for everyone. It's an unbelievable feeling. Makes all the hard work worth it.
Well done, Dan. Congratulations and best of luck against the Tigers.
Cheers, thanks.
Yeah, they'll play the Tigers next week in a cutthroat semi-final. He got a stinger early days, didn't he, on the shoulder? Dan Hanbury, we were a bit worried about him, but he came back on and played the game out beautifully.
Yeah, he did. He was super, along with Dan Butler, another recruit to Zach Jones as well. Arguably the best recruiting of anyone for a long time, those three players. They were probably the difference in the game.
And Dougal Howard played his best game in St Kilda colours, so another one of their recruits.
All right, let's go down to the boundary line for Bob Jane team march. Belinda Mellon.
Just watching Paddy Ryder, he is rubbing his left hamstring right now. It's still a bit of a mystery as to what the injury is, but that's certainly troubling him. And if you look at his body language, you would think it was certainly serious. He was in tears. Jake Carlisle went straight over to him as the siren sounded. The siren sounded, his teammates were jubilant. He did not even get up off the bench. He put his head in his hands, and Carlisle came over to console him. So if you look at what he's showing us with his body language right now, you would say it was a serious injury.
Thanks, Belinda. Bob Jane team march, buy 3, get 1 free on selected performance tyres from Bridgestone and Yokohama. bodjane.com.au. Here's Brett Ratton, boys. Just describe what you're seeing there.
Oh, he's just come onto the ground now, and he's getting around everyone. It was the president and CEO just a minute ago, Bassett and Finnis. Now he's getting around the medical staff, and he's getting out to the players, and they're all in this together. He's been a revelation, Brett Ratton. The players couldn't speak more highly of him. They love his attitude. He connects really well with the playing group. He's a smart tactician, and he's just been an excellent addition. And along with the recruits and Brett Ratton, they've turned this club around in the space of 12 to 18 months, and here they are taking on the juggernaut that's the Tigers next week in a semi-final.
Yeah, they are, Joey. You and Daisy have mentioned the recruits a few times. We can talk about that a bit later too, but just the names: Dougal Howard, Zach Jones, Dan Hanbury, Dan Butler, Ryder, of course, Brad Hill, and even back to Jake Carlisle. And it's, I mean, recruiting and trade, and we might all talk about it, but it's so important in that off-season, in the balance to just get it right. And and perhaps give yourself an opportunity.
And the courage to change. If it's not working, to change it up. They made some big calls. They paid a big price for Brad Hill, Dan Hanbury.
Massive call.
People questioned Dan Hanbury. Well, today he's had the most disposals. His leadership was worth its weight in gold in a final like this. That's why they got into the club, to step up with his leadership in a big game, and they've just done a terrific job. And, even guys that were on the brink, Jack Loney, there was talk about whether he was in the best side, whether he'd leave the club. He was sensational again, and some youngsters back there, Hunter Clark and Nick Caulfield, highly touted top 10 draft picks. They stepped up as well. And Max King, his first half, 4 contested marks and 2 goals, really set up the game for the Saints.
The composure of the St Kilda back line throughout that whole game when the Bulldogs were coming, they held up. Absolutely unbelievable performance by them. They go on, they play the Tigers. Round 4, they face the Tigers, and they went on to win that game by 26 points. Joey, you're starting to believe?
Oh, look, anything's possible. Anything's possible in this crazy year. And the way they played today as a group, they were just connected. Their pressure, their ball winning, and their threat as a forward group, and their aerial threat. That might trouble Richmond with their ability in the air. So it's going to be a must-watch game, and, got to give themselves a chance.
Well, the Saints are heading down to the rooms. We'll stick with them because no doubt they'll belt that famous song out beautifully tonight. It was a 3-point win to St Kilda over the Bulldogs, 10-7, 67 and 9-10, 64. And it was a game-high lead, Ash, at which stage? Because the Bulldogs fought right back.
Yeah, Saints led by 26 points, 20 minutes into the third quarter.
The Dogs charged in the final term, but the Saints got the chocolates, and they'll take the Tigers on next week in another cutthroat semi-final. St Kilda fans celebrating all over Australia. That is a big win. Not in the finals for 9 years, and they've got over the line by 3 points. Plenty to talk about with Joey Montagna, the former Saint. Be very proud man tonight. Daisy Thomas, the great Nathan Brown, the two-mans here, Belinda Mellon. Don't forget the Monopoly game at Macca's is making winners. Download the app now and get a free chest opening the next day for your chance to win amazing prizes. And for McDonald's, Triple M rocks finals footy.